music.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.
Hitting the field, family, we are back. You might have thought the season was over. It is not. It's draft show night. I'm your host, Edgar Rodriguez, joined alongside Kathleen Moore, and joined alongside Ben Huber here at the main desk. It's the biggest night in the world of football, isn't it, Kathleen?
Oh, absolutely. So excited for another wonderful draft show. It's going to be so much fun.
The 9th annual HTF Draft Show, mind you. Ben Huber, fresh off the plane from Paris.
Feels good to be back, guys. I mean...
At Ty Patton's big board then. The final hitting the field appearance for Nick Cohen. Nick, talk to me, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you guys for having me. 3rd year in a row hosting a draft show, and it's my favorite night of the year. It's the best show we have at the Hitting the Field Network, and it's a pleasure to be bringing you guys the Ty Patton's big board presented by myself. So I'm very excited for tonight, guys.
Looking very dapper over there with the tan suit all decorated over at the big board. And then in the podcast room, we have Augie Aronson ready to give you all of the team needs throughout the night. Augie, how are you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm feeling great, baby. The NFL draft is right now, guys. Let's freaking go. We're going to see what franchises know what they're doing and what franchises don't know what they're doing, and I'm so excited.
Yes, very excited. We have Augie locked away in the podcast room, so hopefully he gets through the 4 hours. Anyway, I think it's time now, okay, to take our first look at the big board. Nick, I'm going to throw it straight to you. Talk to me about who are the best options in the draft to get things started.
Yeah, so at number 1, we do have a running back, but the reality is Jeremiah Love is the best player in this year's draft out of Notre Dame. He had an amazing year, and running backs, even though it's a less valuable position, I don't know about that anymore because we're seeing running backs get paid. Number 2, Arvell Reese. Is he a linebacker? Is he an edge? He is all of the above. He is a great defensive weapon for any team. We'll see where he goes. There's been some drama recently. Number 3, I have Caleb Downs. He is just a massive weapon in the secondary. He plays in the box. He can play deep. He can scout your quarterback well. And then number 4, David Bailey. He's rumored to go at 2. We will have to see where he actually goes. He is a huge presence off the edge. Number 5, Francis Maui Noah, offensive tackle out of Miami. He is a true offensive tackle, and he will help protect your quarterback. Any team will be lucky to have him. And lastly, at number 6, we have a guard, interior offensive lineman, but that is just how good Vega Ioane is, in my opinion. He, again, will protect the quarterback. Don't care if it's a less valuable position. I think he's going top 15.
Wow, very good stuff from you, Nick Cohen. And although Jeremiah Love might be at the top of that list, Kathleen Moore, we all know, for months we have all known who's going number 1 to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Of course. I mean, I think that it's in the Raiders' best interest to go Fernando Mendoza here. I mean, what a story for him, winning the college football national championship, the Heisman, from Indiana, no doubt. I mean, What a couple of months for Fernando Mendoza.
100%. He's in Miami with his family as we speak, Ben, but Fernando Mendoza deserved number 1.
Absolutely. I mean, it is kind of interesting that he's not at the draft. I mean, he's with his family. He has a good reason to be there, which I think is awesome. I think we've seen that with a couple of these draft first overall picks consensus the last couple of years. I think he's setting a good precedent here. I like it.
I'm going to throw it to Kathleen.
I want to give a quick concern about Fernando Mendoza. I feel like everyone sings Fernando Mendoza's praises a lot, as they should. However, when Fernando Mendoza has pressure put on him, hands in his face, he can be incredibly shaky and slightly unreliable at times. So I think that the strategy that the Raiders are going with Kirk Cousins to kind of lead him maybe for a few weeks is going to suit him very well in Las Vegas.
For sure. Augie, thoughts on Fernando Mendoza going number 1? It's no mystery. It's no secret.
Yeah, everybody knows this is the pick. Everybody's knows this been the pick since the draft order locked. And it's the pick they need to make, and I have no problems with Fernando Mendoza at all. Honestly, I know Kathleen said he might struggle with pressure. The kid's just a gamer, and I love him.
Yeah, completely fair. Nick Cohen, you are going to hand off the ball for the first time tonight. Who do you have with you at the big board?
Absolutely. We are joined by Matt Polbrook. He's here to talk about our number 1 pick. Matt, tell us about it.
Honestly, there's no bigger guy to root for than Fernando Mendoza. Coming from Cal, like not highly recruited out of high school, goes to Cal, then absolutely kills it at Indiana. You cannot root for a guy more. And what a year he had. Kirk Signetti, that entire program, easy to fall in love with. Yes, there's the problems with him being under pressure. And yes, if he went in the 2024 draft class, where does he go? Probably below where like Drake May and Caleb Williams goes. He's not up to that level. But when we talk about this draft class, the Raiders are going to make the pick and make Mendoza, and hopefully he'll be a franchise quarterback. And thank you, Colin, for this ball.
Anytime.
For this Fiesta Bowl Tostitos. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
see that?
Shout out
UCF Brandon.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because what else would we do?
Right, of course.
Naturally.
We might not be in Pittsburgh, but we got all of our bases covered. Ben, is Fernando Mendoza the franchise quarterback the Raiders need?
I'd have to say yes. I think a lot of people, you talked about his issues, right? I honestly think that Fernando Mendoza is a very complete prospect, and a lot of people might not think that. He did make a lot of NFL-level throws, especially towards the end of the season last year. There were a lot of questions. They do a lot of RPOs in the Indiana offense. Is he really ready for the NFL? I think so. I think he will be a great quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Nick Cohen, I'm going to throw it back to you. I mean, the Heisman winner, right? I mean, do you agree with some of the concerns that have been brought up with Mendoza?
I absolutely do. However, when I think of Fernando Mendoza, I think of Kirk Cousins. And the Raiders went out and signed Kirk Cousins. They are similar players. Fernando Mendoza maybe a little bit more agile, but they both just, you guys know what I'm talking about. They're very similar people, and I think Cousins will be a great mentor for Mendoza.
Augie, do you agree with that? Kirk Cousins, Fernando Mendoza? I mean, it's a dream scenario for Mendoza if he goes to the Raiders, who are officially on the clock.
You can say they're on the clock. I mean, their pick's been turned in for 4 months now. But, yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins is a great guy to learn from. He played a lot of quality football in the NFL for a very long time. I know his stint in Atlanta was not good, to say the least. But Kirk Cousins is a very knowledgeable guy. He's a very friendly guy from all reports that I hear. So I think it's a pretty perfect scenario for Mendoza to go into. And plus, you forget, the Raiders co-owner's Tom Brady. You think he's not going to pick Tom Brady's brain about how to play quarterback in the NFL? Come on now, guys. It's a perfect scenario for any quarterback.
Augie, I'm going to stick with you. Team needs, of course, we know they're going to go quarterback. That's no mystery. But the Raiders are in a terrible position right now, especially after such a poor season. Talk to me about where they might go later in this draft.
I look for them to maybe go the offensive line. You're taking Mendoza #1 overall here. You got to protect your franchise. Mendoza instantly becomes your franchise once you turn this pick in. You need to protect the franchise. So you go offensive line.
Okay. Nick Cohen, back to the big board. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, this team, they need so many positions, as we see on this graphic. However, you're just not selecting an offensive lineman at #1 because as we approach under 5 minutes on the clock for the Raiders, you start to speculate. Is it actually going to be Fernando Mendoza?
Oh, stop.
Come on. Yes, it will be. You have to ask with every pick. Every pick that you think is chalked, you just have to ask it. But Francis Maui-Noah.
Come on, what are we doing?
I'm not saying that they aren't picking Fernando Mendoza. I'm not saying that, guys. You have to speculate, though. Francis Maui-Noah, I have him as the best offensive lineman in the class. He is not worthy of a #1 overall selection. So that's just the reality of it. Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah, that's the reality of it. But the Raiders, to give them Tyler Linderbaum, they went out and got him. They knew the Mendoza situation. Max Crosby, obviously, but they got the luck of the draw, getting 2 players basically practically from the Ravens. So they're good at O-line in terms of the center. Obviously, they need to improve because they were terrible last year, for lack of a better phrase. So they need to improve on a lot of areas. But when you can get a franchise quarterback in Fernando Mendoza, you go out and get him.
Right, and for the record, because I don't believe that we will get a chance to see Fernando Mendoza on this big board because I have him outside the top 6, I have him as the 8th best player in the draft. Now, ideally, you don't want to be drafting the 8th best player in the draft at #1, but these are team needs. Augie talked about it, so back to you guys.
Kathleen Moore?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much, in my opinion, about as far as how you rank Mendoza. It's the most valuable position in sports. Team player rankings gets thrown out the window when you talk about quarterbacks. It doesn't really matter too much to me.
Now, I must say about the Raiders, I think that we might be underestimating how sneaky good they could turn out to be this coming season. I mean, you have to look, they retained a lot of the same guys from last season, which some people would see like, whoa, Raiders were terrible. However, when you look at it, they cut it pretty close with a couple of pretty good playoff caliber teams. I mean, they had a lot of losses by field goals, losses by time of possession. And they have a team that's young and is going to grow. Ashton Genty, I think he's going to have a great sophomore season. And if they have a good draft class this year, I wonder if the Raiders are going to surprise us all.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ben,
I would have to agree
do you
with you on
see
that,
a
honestly.
surprise season? Of course, and Augie brings up a good point. I mean, if you have Tom Brady anywhere near any organization, he's surely making this pick.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of such interesting storylines coming into this draft. The Raiders are definitely one of those teams. Are we going to see them make a push for the playoffs this year? I mean, new head coach, new quarterback. I think they got a chance. I mean, they beat the Super Bowl runner-up last season.
That's
They
right.
beat the New England Patriots in week 1. I don't think that means too much, obviously, guys. But, yeah, I think this is going to be one of the most interesting storylines here. The Raiders, they really made a splash in free agency. Most notably, they got Tyler Linderbaum. I think that was a great pickup.
That's right. The pick is in, people. I wonder who it is.
Were we right? Were we right?
I mean, again, and it's no mystery, but having Tom Brady, again, in and around that organization, Kathleen Moore, I mean, this is all him.
He knows how to win.
There's exactly 7 Super Bowl wins. No one has been as nowhere near the level Tom Brady.
Decorated, yes. I mean, obviously, when you have Tom Brady anywhere near your organization, especially when you're looking to have a mentor for a young quarterback, I can't imagine a better scenario for Fernando Mendoza than what he's probably going to walk into during the first day of camp.
Absolutely, Nick Cohen. I mean, the family is waiting in Miami. How exciting is this for Mendoza to finally make his mark? And also, side note, do you expect him to start in week 1?
Ooh, great question. So first of all, it's extremely important because you just know how much family means to Fernando Mendoza. We saw it after the national championship. We saw it after he won Heisman. This is an extremely important moment for him. Will he start week 1? No, I don't believe he will. Kirk Cousins will start week 1. They brought him in not for their franchise quarterback. They brought him in to be a mentor for their franchise quarterback that they are drafting. Why throw him out there week 1? Let him learn behind an actual NFL seasoned veteran for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Matt Polbrook, we haven't heard from you in a while. Again, it's getting close. Fernando Mendoza is about to be an NFL quarterback, we all think. Nick Cohen, I agree with you.
No Shitter Sanders here.
They have been waiting.
I don't agree with you, Nick.
Oh, Augie, okay, let's hear it, actually.
Go ahead, Augie. They're about to announce it.
You're drafting the kid with the #1 overall pick. He is your franchise, like I said earlier, day 1. You play him day 1, and you let him figure it out.
I don't like the let him figure it out thing. Matt, do you agree? Because, again, like you said, you're drafting him #1 overall.
Hold on. Before we throw it to Matt Polbrook, it is official. Yes. Fernando Mendoza is a Las Vegas Raider.
Yeah.
It's official.
It is.
To everyone's surprise.
I mean, it's the most mysterious pick in this whole draft.
I'm baffled.
He's celebrating with his entire family right now. You know, what a beautiful moment. What a beautiful moment for the kid.
Matt Polbrook, I took it away from you. I'm going to give it back. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is incredible. Like, again, as I said on the top of the show, Mendoza, there's no one else you could root for more, working so hard to get here. Probably looking back to last year, at this point in time last year, no one ever thought of Fernando Mendoza. No one ever thought of Indiana. So a whole year from now, and he's the first pick overall in the draft. Incredible, incredible story, and there's nothing else I could love more. And Mendoza's great.
It really is, and Augie brought up a great point. His character. I mean, those post-game interviews, it just puts a smile on your face, and it's a great sign, Kathleen, that he is going to be an NFL caliber quarterback, a starter in no time at all.
I tend to agree. I mean, when you look at what your ideal quarterback kind of looks like, it's Fernando Mendoza. He's sized properly. He's got the ball movement. He's so physical, and he's gritty. He's going to go for every single yard that he can push out.
Yeah, for sure. Augie, we're seeing some of his highlights now, and I mean, again, some of these plays are just, incredible.
Those are NFL level throws.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, completely. All season long as well.
That's why I think you got to play him day 1. I mean, Mendoza's the guy. You just drafted him #1 overall. You play him.
Yeah. Nick Cohen, you're making a face over there. Talk to me, my friend.
I don't agree, Augie. It's not a given that if you draft someone number 1 overall, they start immediately. That is just not how the NFL works. You drafted him number 1 overall. What if he goes in week 1 and gets injured? He has to observe from the sidelines how the NFL is actually played. It's not the same as if you're viewing from the stands. That's just not how this works. And also, you look at his receiving core that he has with him. It's pretty much non-existent. Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, and Jack Besh. You really want to throw him out there week 1 with those receivers? No, give Kirk Cousins the chance to train some of these receivers to play in this new offense because they got a new coach, new offensive system in Clint Kubiak. Yeah. So it's a totally different team. Do not throw Fernando Mendoza out there automatically.
I don't understand what you mean by injuries, Nick. If you throw him out in week 1 versus throwing him out week 10, he has the same risk of getting injured.
Yeah,
they're going to play him in preseason. He's going to get some reps there. I'm the complete opposite camp, Nick. You play him week 1, and you see what the kid's got.
All right, I'm going to cut this off here. I'm going to cut this off. No more bickering about the Las Vegas Raiders. We have to move on. The New York Jets are on the clock, and it's probably one of the biggest questions headed into this draft. David Bailey or Arvell Reese? Nick Cohen, you have a new guess at the big board.
I do, and we're giving the ball to Francisco Vera this time. I have a question, because we thought for a while that the draft really started at number 2, or sometimes we said at number 3 because we thought that Arvell Reese was a lock here. Yeah. That might not be the case anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think that obviously, like you said, Arvell Reese was a lock until the growing concerns, right? Mm-hmm. I saw this morning Daniel Jeremiah had a mock where David Bailey was going on at number 2. So right now it's just a thing of will the Jets. I mean, obviously the Jets are a disaster, right?
Oh, we don't like
so it's just a matter of
oh my goodness,
what will the Jets do? Will they make the right choice? Because I mean, in either one of these players, these are great players, right? So it's just a matter of will they strike it and will they make their good choice, or will they kind of be blinded by the talent that this player showed in college and just not? It wouldn't translate in the NFL.
Yeah, feels like a Jets pick would be like Keldrick Falk at 2 or something like that. The Jets are not a good organization whatsoever. I know who I would draft here, but let's hear from other people for now.
Well,
it's
just real quickly, Nick Cohen, who would you draft?
Opinion.
Yeah, I would draft Arvell Reese.
Okay.
I have him as the second best player in the draft. Okay. He should go minimum at number 2, if that's the logic we're going by. I think he's the best defender in the draft. He can play coverage. He can rush the passer. Sure. He is simply a great player, and he showed it at Ohio State this past year. They had a great defense, and he was large in part for that.
The pick is in. Kathleen Moore, Reese or Bailey. Where are we going?
I can understand these Arvell Reese concerns because, you know, you're not quite sure. Is he going to play linebacker? Is he going to play edge? You just don't know. And I think that makes him a very diverse option for a lot of other teams. But I think that the Jets are in need of someone who's solid, who can come in day 1. So
David Bailey is a New York Jet. Ben Huber, initial thoughts?
I like that pick a lot. Honestly, I can see where you're coming from, especially with Arvell Reese conversations, because I don't know if versatility necessarily is a really good thing. I mean, obviously, it's a good thing, versatility, but you have a guy who can play edge, who has proven that he can play edge at a high level, and I think that's who you go with at number 2.
Augie, get into this conversation. Does this make sense for the Jets? Of course, 2 very high-caliber players. They ended up going with David Bailey.
Yeah, I think it's the right pick. Reese is a great player. Bailey's better in my opinion. All the reports coming into the draft said the Jets were in love with him. They were in love with the production they got out of him in college at Texas Tech and Stanford. I think they made the better of the 2 picks.
Kathleen Moore, the most sacks allowed from the Jets. I mean, this is a step in the right direction at least.
It definitely is, but I think if you're the Jets at this point, you're kind of taking anything you can get. So it was a good pick either direction you went, but I think it's better that they went with the proven edge rusher, like you said.
Yeah. Francisco, let's hear from you. David Bailey.
I like it. Like Kathleen said, he is the more proven player, but I mean, it was either or, and both players were really good. I mean, I in the back of my head, I had a thought lingering that they might have taken Ty Simpson at 2, knowing them, knowing the Jets, knowing the Jets. Because they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback. Maybe they might.
I think Geno Smith is the answer.
Okay.
Geno Smith being the answer is just not a sentence that's been said since probably he was drafted. So.
Nick Cohen, that was a bold take right there.
Oh, it was sarcasm. Let's be so real. Come on.
Oh, Francisco, I don't know.
Can't have that on my record.
We've cleaned it off, and it's not there.
Thank you.
That was not said. Ben Huber again. David Bailey.
Yeah, I like this.
Why?
I think why? Like I said, you have a guy that can play edge at a high level, and like you said, I mean, the second fewest sacks in the league for the Jets. Aaron Glenn, defensive-minded coach. You want a guy that can rush the passer. I think with this next pick though, I think it's up in the air. I think this could be a trade. Could take Augie Reese. Who knows?
Yes, lots of talk that the Cardinals may want out of this number 3 position. Nick Cohen, they're your second favorite team. What are they going to do here?
Yeah, so I didn't think that Augie Reese would be available. I thought they could go Francis Maui-Noah. I thought it could be a trade. There was rumors about Jeremiah Love, the best player in the draft. However, Augie Reese is available, and their defense is simply atrocious. So I think that's the direction that they should be going.
Okay, Augie, I want to hear from you. Team needs in Arizona are a lot. Of course, a new coaching staff in there. It's a transitional period for the Cardinals, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a transitional period. Out, Jonathan Gannon's out. Kyler Murray's out. This team is pretty buns. They're pretty buns. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They need a lot of stuff. Most important, they need a quarterback. You're not taking Ty Simpson at 3, so that's out of the question.
Yeah.
They need an edge. They need an offensive tackle. So Maui-Noah's a pick here potentially. Augie Reese, you were taking whichever one of the two didn't go between him or Bailey, probably here. Don't really see them going with the running back Jeremiah Love. Wouldn't be surprised if they do because he's such an elite player.
Yeah.
But I think the pick is Augie Reese here.
Okay, we have Cardinals fan Jaden Herman. Nick Cohen, you already passed the ball to him. We were talking off air, Jaden. Do you see your Cardinals moving out of that number 3 spot?
And you know what? If we did, I'm not even mad because we have so many positional needs. We're the Arizona Cardinals, but our nickname is Swiss cheese the way we have holes in our offense, defense, special teams, the whole shebang, okay? And if we do trade back, it has to be for an offensive lineman like Francis Maui-Noah, but there's too much talent defensively in this draft and on the board right now to just trade back. So I think we have to go defense here.
Okay, but I have a question though. Jeremiah Love, of course, he's on top of many big boards, including Nick Cohen's. What was that?
We haven't mentioned him yet.
Oh, not yet. Oh, who knows? Maybe now. But that's not confirmed yet. Stand by. But Jaden, I mean, Jeremiah Love would be the exciting pick here. Surely sell the jerseys, get the fan base pumped up for next season. Surely, or no.
Exciting pick, yeah, for sure, but we don't need that right now. We have so many other positional needs. We don't need to go running back, and we don't have the pieces to help him succeed. If we draft him, he's gonna fall off. He's not gonna be great for us. In all honesty, I know he's the best player in the draft. I know how good he is as a running back and in the backfield, but we don't need that right now. How's he gonna run the ball if we don't have an offensive line to protect him and get him the yards that he needs?
Fair point. The pick is in, Kathleen Moore. Who are they going for?
Well, it's not Jeremiah Love. I think that Augie Reese or Francis Maui-Noah is going to be your pick here. And, you know, if you draft Jeremiah Love, then what are you doing with James Conner? Because obviously he's getting old.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're at a point yet where James Conner is going to be completely wiped out of the picture with a young running back.
I think he could be, though. I mean, he's been injury prone. Not only is he old, he is injury prone, has been injured the past couple years, and he could just serve as a mentor for Jeremiah Love.
Oh, Augie.
Spoiler.
Hello.
With 99% confidence, it's Jeremiah Love.
Oh, no way.
99% confidence.
99% confidence? Are you 99% confident for Jeremiah Love?
I think it's the great pick. He's the best player.
Yeah.
I would be a little bit puzzled, honestly. I don't know. I don't think I like it. But we're talking about James Conner here. Is he really a guy that's like going to be I'm not sure if it's going to be bad if he's wiped out of the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like 30 years old at this point.
He is super old, which is like very old for a running back, 30. I mean, these guys like are not supposed to last that long.
Right.
But I I can't see a reason to select Jeremiah Love at 3 when, again, like Jaden said, you just don't have any of the pieces to make him a successful player on your roster from day one. Because if you're the Cardinals, that's what you need. You need someone to make an impact day one.
And it is Jeremiah Love at number 3, Jaden Herbert. What are you thinking right now?
I don't know.
Speechless.
But it's almost like I know
Edgar Rodriguez. I'm actually kind of livid right now.
Speak your truth.
It's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
Right now, obviously, most talented player in the draft for sure. But we needed to go defense here. Augie Aronson was my guy coming into the draft, and it breaks my heart that we didn't draft him. On the other side, though, I'm glad that we're going offense here in a way. He is very talented, but we had to go defense here, guys. We kind of whipped on this one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nick, well, you're shaking your head.
I mean, I agree. It's not like the best pick in my mind. Granted, I know I have him as the best player in the draft, so theoretically a good pick. But as Jaden said, they really do need defense. I will say I'm not totally shocked about this pick because they have a new head coach and an offensive-minded head coach at that in Mike LaFleur. Right. So I'm kind of speechless as well.
Well, Nick, I'm gonna ask you this though. Did you expect them to trade down, or is this not that big of a surprise for you?
I did expect them to trade down in my most recent mock draft this morning. Granted, I also did not have David Bailey going at number 2. I don't fall for. I thought it was a smokescreen. I expected them to trade down with the Commanders, and now I don't know what the Titans are going to do here.
Well, Jeremiah Love would have made sense there, Kathleen Moore.
I have hopes. I never wanted Jeremiah Love to the Titans. I never saw it. I've been against it from day one. Very adamant against it. So, Cohen, your big board is going to change significantly.
Significantly.
Drastically.
The Titans, there's many different options. It could be Carnell Tate. It could be Augie Aronson. That seems like the obvious pick here. But again, best player on the board is now off the board. So props to the Cardinals for that, and Titans will figure things out.
Augie, no Jeremiah Love for the Titans. What are their needs, though?
Jeremiah Love was not a fit for Tennessee, in my opinion, perfectly. So I don't think it's that much of a changing for them. They need an edge bad. They might not have expected Reese to be available here, so it might be a little bit better for them. So probably Reese is the pick here. But they also need a receiver, like Nick said. So maybe watch out for Carnell Tate, or if they're in love with one of the other guys, like Jordan Tyson. I heard a lot of buzz was generated by his private workout on April 17th. Yeah. But they really need an edge, and they really need a receiver. And they also kind of need a center, but it's mostly edge and receiver bad because they got to get Cam Ward some weapons. The guy's working with very little, and they need a wide receiver one.
Okay. Kathleen, real quick.
Cam has nothing. Cam Ward has nothing. Give the man something, because I've been saying this on Combine all season. You can't draft a quarterback number 1 overall and do nothing to support him. Otherwise, we're going to have Joe Burrow 2.0, and it's going to be Cam Ward, and that would be tragic because he's too talented for that.
You have a familiar face at the big board, Nick Cohen.
I do. Yeah, we have Diego Ortiz on now to talk about his favorite team's divisional rival. Colts fan here. We don't get many of those here.
Yeah, and guys, honestly, going into this draft, I'm a little worried about the Tennessee Titans. I think Cam Ward showed a lot of promise last season. I don't think that's,
That's obvious.
If they add a real weapon for Cam Ward, I don't know. And I feel like the Colts got a little bit worse, this offseason. They lost some guys. They traded Zaire Franklin. They, let Nick Cross walk, one of their starting safeties. Pittman? Yeah, no Pittman either. So, I don't know. I'm a little worried, but I'm excited to see what they're going to do here.
I agree that the Titans need weapons, and Jeremiah Love would have been a weapon, even though he's a running back. Yeah. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Yeah. Carnell Tate, I think we need to look at here. However, they did sign Wan'Dale Robinson, who was very underrated last year, hit 1,000 yards. So it's not like Cam Ward's receiving core will be as bad this year already.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. But, I think that's just the important thing is just get a guy or two around him. Maybe they can get a defensive cornerstone around him too. We'll see what they do. I think they have a lot of options here at number 4.
Agreed. I don't find Wan'Dale Robinson to be a difference maker here. He's good. But he's not the guy that's going to turn things around in Tennessee. I feel like has ever had that thought ever in the history of the world.
I'll throw it. Okay, go there, Cohen, go.
I was just going to counter real quick with that. I mean, no, he's not. I'm not saying Wan'Dale Robinson is a future all-pro player, but when you look at how bad that Tennessee receiving room was last year, he is a difference maker.
Okay, but like when the bar is here.
Oh yeah, it's on the floor.
Like it's so bad. Like you just
It's a difference
can't
maker.
be this confident with him.
Ben
Sure.
Huber, the pick is in. Offense or defense? Where are we going with the Titans?
I think there's a lot more defensively for them here. I mean, especially with Jeremiah Love just getting picked. I think that really threw a wrench in their plans, honestly. I think that they were probably looking to draft Jeremiah Love here. I know Kathleen Moore disagreed, but I think that they were looking to draft Love here, and I think they had to pivot real quick, go to defense. I think they picked the next best guy available. Arvell Reese, maybe Sonny Styles. Who knows?
Okay, if it was down to those two, Kathleen Moore?
Arvell Reese, I can't imagine him falling past 4 because what is going on?
Nick Cohen, if you were in that position to make the choice, are you going Reese here?
Easily.
Yeah?
Easily. He should have been off the board at 2. He's still here at 4. You have to take a best defensive player in the draft.
Okay, Diego Ortiz. Arvell Reese, best available pick here for the Titans. Are we sure of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think anytime you get a chance to, get an elite edge rusher or someone with high, a high ceiling, if that, pans out, I mean, that's a huge difference maker, especially in the playoffs. So
forget defense. Forget about it.
Is it Cornell Tate?
Cornell Tate!
Cornell Tate!
I've been saying this for months, and everyone said I was crazy.
Not everyone.
Not crazy. Everyone said I was crazy.
Right.
I'm not.
Leave it to the Titans to draft a future bust.
Oh my
Holy
goodness.
crap.
Wow.
Now it's him and Wandale.
Oh
Great
my
receiving
God.
room there.
To the Texans.
What a pairing. What a pairing.
Wow.
Not to the Texans, to the Titans. Augie, are we surprised by this?
There we go.
There we go.
No,
I
I'm
guess
not
so.
surprised.
He's
There
shocked.
was a lot of buzz within the last 5 minutes with Cornell Tate being the pick. And he should still be the pick no matter what happens with Arvell Reese. You stick to your plan. You don't panic in the draft. The panic is when you mess up. You're stuck with what you were planning pre-draft. You take the guy, and your guy was Cornell Tate. You stay with him. You get Cam Ward some weapons.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Wow, the Titans have themselves, a new piece at receiver. Ben, I mean, it's the first Ohio State Buckeye. We expect many to go in this first round.
Of course.
Did you expect it to be Tate first, though?
I did not expect it to be Tate first. I did say I thought it was going to be Arvell Reese. Of course, that's what we all thought, right? But I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick. I don't think it's a great pick, though. Honestly, I don't really think Cornell Tate is that great so soon.
Okay.
Right? I don't think he's the best receiver in this draft, at least. I'll say
Whoa.
Wow.
Do you think it's like surrounded by a lot of talent and it made him look better than he actually is?
that. Yeah, I believe so. I think if this was last year's wide receiver, or if I say a few wide receiver classes ago, maybe when you had like a Malik Neighbors or like years past we had Justin Jefferson, those kind of guys, I think Cornell Tate would be one of those guys that kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
100%.
I think this year, not a lot of top-end talent in this draft. Cornell Tate gets pushed up the board a little bit.
All right, the Giants already have not wasted any time. Jim Harbaugh has 2 top 10 picks. The first one is already in. Arvell Reese just fell into their lap right now, Kathleen Moore.
Yeah, I mean this could definitely be Arvell Reese, but I do prefer Sonny Styles at this spot personally. I just think he's a better fit for the organization as a whole. But
there's a fellow Giants fan now at the big board, so Nick Cohen, all yours.
Yeah, we have another Nick Scalise making his draft show debut. Who are the Giants taking at 5?
Honestly, I believe that the Giants should take Caleb Downs. We need secondary help badly. All the mock drafts I saw had Jeremiah Love, so I'm very grateful that he is drafted because I did not want him at all. And
no
then
1-2 punch?
We already have our 1-2 punch with Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterboo, so just adding a third running back in there is crazy. But there's also Sonny Styles. I didn't really like that pick considering we already just signed Tremaine Edmonds and then we re-signed Micah McFadden back to a 2-year contract. So it wouldn't make sense to draft a middle linebacker at number 5. So I think Downs is our best play here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick Cohen, do you agree?
I can agree with that. I mean, I think either or is a great option, genuinely. I don't think Micah McFadden is, he's underrated, but I don't think he's preventing you from drafting Sonny Styles. I would potentially go Caleb Downs here. I would also look for a team to trade up for Arvell Reese. Plain and simple, because he should not still be on the board. We don't know what might have come out last minute about Arvo Reese, but he should not be on the board. And if teams let him get to Cleveland, opposite of Myles Garrett,
oh my goodness,
that's
Terror.
just tragedy.
I mean, for the Browns, this is what they're wishing for.
Yeah.
But is that going to happen, Ben?
I don't know. I think that the Giants do like Sonny Styles. I have seen they do really like Caleb Downs too. But they have 2 picks inside the top 10, so maybe whoever they don't get first, they could go for second.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I could see Caleb Downs falling to their
Falling to the
10th
10th
pick
pick.
as well, especially how things are going with Arvo Reese still on the board. Francis Mauigoa still on the board.
Still there?
Not super surprising, I don't think. I think I've seen a
Guys,
saw
there's been a
couple mock
trade.
drafts of him going.
Okay, all right. So okay, Nick Cohen.
Hey,
the
I
Browns
called
have traded
that.
with the Chiefs. Okay. Your
Okay.
initial
The
thoughts. You
Browns
were a
have picked
little
6.
you were a little lethargic there.
I mean, it's the Chiefs. Do we really want to see the Chiefs succeed? I don't think anyone
I'm
in here does,
sick.
actually.
I'm sick.
Yeah, so with them getting potentially Arvo Reese, granted, just because they traded up doesn't mean that's who they're selecting.
Sure.
But that would be really bad for the rest of the league.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it to Nick Scalise here. Okay.
Sure.
Look, in my opinion, the Giants. We need the best draft here. 2 top 10. You know, Harbaugh is in. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on this pick, isn't there, Nick?
Yeah, I believe there's a lot of pressure on this pick. In my personal opinion, if we nail these 2 picks right here, I believe we could squeak into the playoffs at like a 9-8, 8-9 record.
Love that.
Obviously, Dexter Lawrence missing is going to hurt us, but I believe that our young guys on the offense can really get it done. I mean, we were number 12 last year at ranked offense, and I was without Neighbors for 3/4 of the year, and then Scatterboo only played like 4 games. But in those 4 games, we did amazing. So there's really a lot going on this pick right now.
Yeah, I mean, 5 losses after leading by 10+ points last season, top for most in NFL history, Kathleen Moore. I mean, this has to change for the Giants.
I mean, surely, in-division rival here, but the Giants are my least concern as far as NFC East goes. Sorry, Edgar.
Appreciate it.
Really?
Yeah, least concern.
Least concerned or least hated?
Potentially least hated
Okay.
because,
the
the
Commanders aren't very
Cowboys.
scary.
There's a lot of new in there, Nick Cohen. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong at all. I mean, new head coach, new tight end.
Yeah.
I'm somewhat blanking, but a very new team this year. And I think the Commanders, we'll see what they do in the draft in the top 10, but I think they're a lot less scary.
Okay. Augie, I mean, where do you see the Giants going here?
I see him going Arvo Reese. He's the best player available. Take him. I am seeing a lot of buzz about picks 6-2 now with Kansas City, but I think the Giants take Arvo Reese.
Okay. Arvel Reese.
But I've seen a lot of interesting things about what the Chiefs might take at 6.
Okay. We touched briefly on Dexter Lawrence,
Yeah.
out of the Giants. Is this a big concern?
I don't think so. I think Dexter Lawrence, he was pretty unhappy with the situation there. I think if you can get a top 10 pick for a nose tackle, that is an absolutely amazing
Without
deal.
a doubt.
Sure.
Top 10 pick, that never happens.
No. Do you think that this trade was like a little bit one-sided, a little unfair?
I don't necessarily think that the Bengals necessarily took a huge loss in this trade, but I do think that the Giants definitely won this trade. I mean, you get a top 10 pick.
I mean, Nick Cohen, this trade, I mean, it was pretty last second, right ahead of the draft. Winners and losers. Who are you saying?
I mean, the winners are both teams, genuinely, because Dexter Lawrence,
Win-win.
Yes, he needs a new contract. I believe they gave him that new contract, but he's still a great defensive tackle, great at rushing the quarterback for being so large. And then the Giants, for, as Ben said, getting a top 10 pick, they're both winners. Probably if I had to choose one, I would say the Giants, because they got a top 10 pick, and that's just kind of unheard of for a nose tackle.
Yeah, for sure. 2 top 10 now. I mean, first rounders in 2025, Nick Scalise. Let's take a look at last year. Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart. I mean, it went well last year. This can be the start of another good first round for the Giants candidate.
Yeah, I just think that they were great last year. Obviously, Abdul Carter started a little slow. That might have to do with us playing that outside linebacker, playing coverage. I don't know why we were doing that at the beginning of the year. But once he finally got on the line, he was leading in pressures. He was doing great. And then obviously Dart came in. Should have been starting the entire year, in my opinion. I don't know why we had to do that little 3-game thing with Russell. Honestly, costed us a few games, especially that Chiefs game. That was a terrible watch. But it's like those two are great picks, and I hope we get 2 more great picks this year.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with you guys at the big board though. Let's talk Jackson Dart a little bit before the pick gets announced. Nick Cohen, what were your thoughts for his performances last year?
I thought he did pretty good for the position he was drafted, and he also wasn't this highly coveted prospect heading into last year's draft. He did well for his expectations. However, heading into year 2, I think they need more weapons to surround Jackson Dart. I think, Carnell Tate's off the board. I don't think we're going for Mekhi Lemon. However, Jordan Tyson was really, really rumored to be going here at 5. I could see it at 10, potentially. I don't know about 5.
Can I tell you who is?
Please do.
Arvell Reese is a New York Giant. Kathleen Moore.
Interesting.
It's a good choice. The Arvell Reese fall needs to be studied, I think.
And it stopped here.
It did, and I think that if it was going to stop somewhere, I think New York is a great landing spot for him.
Back-to-back Buckeyes. Nick Scalise.
It's an interesting pick, really, considering we already have Burns, Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. So what this pick is kind of telling me is that we are definitely looking to ship Thibodeau off sometime within these next 2 days for more picks. Because I do not think, but obviously with the addition of Arvell Reese, that we are going to keep 4 edge rushers. There's a little, our secondary is still not good, but I hope at pick 10 we can either maybe pick up Delane, Mansour Delane, or down still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cohen, go ahead.
I mean, I completely agree. I think Kayvon Thibodeau is basically off the team. He has 2 feet out the door. However, are we thinking that maybe Arvell Reese will play more linebacker? Yes. He is kind of a dual threat, and you don't need 3 edges on the field at all times.
For sure. And now, instead of the Browns, it is the Chiefs at number 6.
Barf. Don't like that.
So sickening.
Well, so what did they do here, though?
Why
did they trade up? That's my question.
They could honestly do whatever the heck they want with this pick. There's so many good players still on the field, on the board. I mean, Francis Mauigoa could be a really nice pick here for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Nick Cohen, best available, or are we going more strategic here for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I don't actually know, to be honest with you. I mean, I feel like strategic because this is still a good team. Sure, they had a top 10 pick heading into the draft. Now, obviously, they've traded, but they're still a pretty complete team. I think Caleb Downs is absolutely someone to watch here. However, they did sign some safeties in free agency. I think Francis Mauigoa would be a great pick for them here. Really help Patrick Mahomes. He got injured really badly at the end of last year, and he probably won't be able to be available for week 1. They need offensive line, and I would potentially take him here at 6.
Okay, and you have Judah Wells at the big board. Judah, the Chiefs to 6. Are we surprised?
Yes. Yes, we are surprised.
I don't think anyone expected this.
No. Do we like it?
No, we hate it. Right. We're disgusted.
Sickening.
Very sad and angry.
Don't love.
Yeah.
Augie, are you sad and angry in the podcast room? Say no.
Sure, no, I'm not. And I want to talk about something that Nick Scalise said about waiting for Mansour Delane to fall to the Giants at 10. I'm calling it now. It's not official or anything, but in my opinion, the Chiefs moved up because they lost 2 corners. They lost Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. They take Mansour Delane right here. They saw their guy. They didn't want to take any chance of him falling. I think this is who they take right here.
Again, Nick Cohen, you're making faces over there, man. No Mansour Delane for you, or yes?
No, I think the faces right now are actually because I kind of like it, Augie. I mean, I think that I'm not saying he's the best player available because he's not, but I think there were teams that were rumored to take him before them. The Commanders, the Saints, all could have taken Mansour Delane beforehand, so them trading up for him would actually make sense.
Okay, 11 pass breakups last season. I mean, if they do go Delane here, it's not a bad pick.
I mean, I find it incredibly threatening if they go Mansour Delane here. That is a declaration of war on the National Football League.
Ben Huber?
The one thing I don't understand about this is why would you trade Trent McDuffie if you're going to trade up in the draft, even after you got a first-round pick for Trent McDuffie for another corner, right? You might as well have just kept who you had. I think they do go secondary, though. I believe they go Caleb Downs here, but we will just have to see. But I think Mansour Delane is a very good corner. I don't think they would be wrong in picking him. I'm just trying to get in the head of the Chiefs thinking, why would they do that, you know?
Okay, Judah Wells, where's your head at here?
So We're thinking best player available. I mean, everything everyone just said is true because there's just such a good position for the Chiefs. They could take anybody and be completely happy and satisfied with their pick. But if we're looking at Caleb Downs, I think that's the move they should make.
Well, so the Chiefs also underwhelming last year. Kind of fell back down to earth.
Yes, I mean, and that was beautiful to watch. Personally, I think we all needed a bit of a break. I mean, that was the first playoffs without
was a good hate watch.
Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady in like 20 years, something absurd. So I was happy about that. I would really, wow.
Okay, well, we just got word in our ear. Monsieur Delane might be a Chief. The pick is in. Ben Huber, we were talking about it.
We were. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's such a good player. You can't go wrong with Mansour Delane. I'm just confused why they traded up. I think they could have stuck and picked, but hey, they went up and got the guy they wanted.
Okay, Nick Cohen, are we happy with this for the Chiefs, or are we hating?
You know, I think it could be worse. Mansour Delane, best corner in the draft, in my opinion. I know there was a debate about that, but he's not generational. I think it could be worse for the Chiefs here. Giving them Caleb Downs, so much worse than Mansour Delane.
Okay, so you bring up Caleb Downs. He's falling here in this draft.
He is, but also he is one of those guys that can fit in a lot of different systems, and I think that there are better fits than Caleb Downs for a lot of these teams, but his fall will end soon, I'm sure of it.
He's a safety.
Yeah.
You got to think positional value.
Right.
It is confirmed Delane is a Chief. Augie, you mentioned it, and it happened.
Yeah, I mean, it made too much sense. I know Ben's saying why trade Trent McDuffie. You get a whole lot cheaper with Delane right here. The Chiefs have had a lot of salary cap issues. They have to keep restructuring Mahomes' deal to keep creating funds. You trade up for him because you lost McDuffie, and you get a lot cheaper.
Okay, updates have been made to the big board. We'll go there in just a second. But Kathleen Moore, the Chiefs, trading up, getting their guy. Now the Commanders' pick is in. Where do we see Washington going here? Because again, so many holes to fill.
I wouldn't hate Jordan Tyson to the Commanders here. I think he would look really nice in a Commanders uniform. I think that Jaden Daniels needs some more guys to throw to, and Jordan Tyson obviously is one of the best wide receivers in this draft. And I'm wondering kind of how Jordan Tyson would stack up in other years with the wide receiving core, but we'll leave that.
But the only concern, though, with Jordan Tyson is a pretty big one, and that's unavailability, injury concerns. Nick Cohen, are we going to see another Big 12 pick here?
I think we could. I don't think it'll be from the Big 12. Potentially Big 10. There's still a glaring need here on the big board. Sonny Styles enters the big board. However, Caleb Downs, also another Big 10 player, both out of Ohio State. As we bring in another guest, Noah Green with the ball. Do you think they're going Ohio State?
I think that they are going to go Ohio State, and I think that they're going to go Caleb Downs safety. Quan Martin had a PFF grade of like 48. Nick Cross is not. It's rough. Nick Cross is not a great safety either. I think Caleb Downs is an immediate plug-and-play starter in that backfield for the Commanders. And if they want to go receiver, instead of Jordan Tyson, I'd actually prefer them go Mekhi Lemon. I think he'd complement Terry McLaurin really well, and he was my number one receiver on my big board. So I'd like Mekhi Lemon, but I wouldn't hate Jordan Tyson either. But my number one pick would be Caleb Downs. And again, they could also go O-line. Their O-line's not really that good. And they've got Chris Paul at a right guard. He wasn't super good. Sam Cosmi at that other guard spot. So Avega Ione could also go there.
Yeah.
So
Augie, only 2 picks in the top 100 for the Commanders. This has to be spot on. Are they going to give Jaden Daniels some new tools to play with, or are they going to stick to the defense?
No, I don't think they take Jordan Tyson here. I think they take Sonny Styles. Dan Quinn's a defensive guy. I think he gets another weapon.
Okay, all right. Do you agree, Kathleen?
Sonny Styles is definitely a good choice here. Again, Sonny Styles, I think, is one of those guys that can kind of fit in a lot of spots. And, I mean, the Commanders, they do need a guy like that. So it wouldn't be a bad choice whatsoever. But I still like the offensive pick here because Terry McLaurin desperately needs someone else to take the weight off.
Okay, Nick Cohen, I mean, your thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it'll be defense. Also for the reason that their head coach has not been able to take a star defensive player in the past couple years that he's been drafting with the team. So I could absolutely see it that way.
Okay, Ben Huber, you have something to say?
Yeah, I'd say that Sonny Styles is definitely a Dan Quinn guy.
Yeah.
I do like that fit. They do need a guy that can tackle. I mean, their defense wasn't great last year, but also could see receiver. They let go of Debo. They definitely need some help in that passing game. Take the weight off Jaden Daniels. He can't be running all this much. He needs some receivers down the field that can help him out.
Okay, well, the pick is in. It is going to be announced very shortly now. I mean, again, the Commanders, so many holes to fill, and I think that's quite a trend, right, in these early picks of the draft. Noah Green, though, the pick is about to be announced. Are you still sticking with an offensive piece here?
I'm sticking. I want to go with Caleb Downs. I think safety is the biggest hole right now for the Commanders, and I think Caleb Downs is instant plug-and-play starter for them. And I think he's the best player available.
All right, the pick is almost in. Kathleen Moore, I mean, again,
yeah, I mean, Caleb Downs.
You can go anywhere here.
Caleb Downs is like best available on the big board, so that would be huge for Caleb Downs. But I don't think it's going to be Caleb Downs.
We are hearing Sonny Styles, okay? Well, it's not confirmed yet, but the pick is in, and it might be Sonny Styles. Ben Huber, do you agree with this?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like that pick.
Yeah.
It just makes a lot of sense. It's what they need. I mean, they need a lot of pieces, but Sonny Styles best available. When he slips to you at 7, was supposed to go maybe around 5, I think you take that pick.
Okay, we have some head shaking at the big board. No green?
Yeah, they have Leo. I don't love the pick based on team need. They needed a safety, receiver, or guard, or even tackle more. And I'm just not a fan of this pick. They have Frankie Louvu and Leo Chenal both at that linebacker spot. Those are two quality starters. And though I love Sonny Styles as a player, I'm just not sure why they'd pick Sonny Styles when they already have two good linebackers.
Okay, Nick Cohen, another Ohio State Buckeye in the NFL. Now, does this solve the Washington Commanders' problems here?
I think Noah just said it best. I mean, it can solve a problem. Does it solve all of them? No. This was not their biggest need of middle linebacker. It's automatically not one of the more valued positions in the NFL. And then just when you have other players available that would help the team better. I think we haven't talked enough about Francis Maui Noah going here. He didn't, but I think that would have helped the team even more than Sonny Styles. So, I don't know, Edgar.
The Saints are on the clock, though. Let's move on from Washington to New Orleans, okay? The Saints are on the clock, and the pick is in, Augie. What do they need down in New Orleans?
They need a second receiver badly. I think they take Jordan Tyson here. They need somebody to put alongside Chris Olave. It's the most glaring team need. So I think they take Jordan Tyson.
All right, Kathleen Moore.
Either Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah.
I really do like Lemon to the Saints here over Tyson, just personal preference.
All right, big board people. Who do we have now, Nico?
Yeah, so we bring in Mason Best, resident Saints fan. Again, another team that we don't get a lot of, so we're happy to have you.
Proud to be here, and I'm hoping it's going to be a happy day in New Orleans. I'm a little scared that there's the best offensive tackle still on the board. Knowing Mickey Loomis.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of angry people
Potentially
on Bourbon Street.
not your team's biggest need going offensive tackle in, 2 of the last 3 drafts?
Yeah, let's not.
We won't speak that into
Bourbon
existence.
Street would erupt into chaos.
But let's hear Mason Best. Who would you go for here if you had the keys?
Who's the best player available for you for the Saints?
If I can choose Jordan Tyson or Caleb Downs, either of the two, I am thrilled. The Saints secondary was questionable at best last year, and the wide receiving core was flat out horrendous. And because I know Mickey Loomis, in the previous years, I think he takes an absolute flyer here on Jordan Tyson because he can, and I think he could be the best receiver in the class if he's on the field.
Jordan Tyson, we know his talent, Ben, but do those injury concerns start to swirl in the head of GMs?
They definitely do. I think, though, in the last couple weeks, they've kind of started to subside a little bit. He did run some routes at his pro day. I think maybe they saw him do that. Said, he's a little bit more active. He's not fully injured anymore. I mean, he said he had such a great 2024. It's hard to look past that, even though he did not play last year. I think Jordan Tyson would be a home run pick here.
We are almost done with our first hour. It has flown by. The Saints pick is in. Nick Cohen, where do you see them going here?
I think it will be receiver. We've visited multiple different positions that the Saints could need because you guys need it. It's okay though. I think there's great options at receiver. We've heard Jordan Tyson mentioned. We've heard Mekhi Lemon. You were really advocating for Jordan Tyson, who some people have as a better player, but he's injury prone. Would you be happy with Mekhi Lemon?
I would. Mekhi Lemon scares me a little bit because I think he's a slot receiver.
Sure.
So I don't like pairing a slot receiver with Chris Olave, who's a borderline slot receiver in himself.
Fair.
So if you get the big body Tyson who can line up outside, they can run those corner posts and really win those contested catches. I think it pairs very nicely in a Kellen Moore offense.
Great
like that
point,
take.
Mason. Great point. Isn't Mekhi Lemon an LA Ram? Isn't he supposed to go to LA?
I cannot get into the biblical greed that I would feel about the Rams if they took Mekhi Lemon.
No.
Sense, though.
It does?
Of course it fits. When you have one of the greatest receiving cores in the entire league and your greed can't stop you from gathering another, I would be devastated.
I mean, Mekhi Lemon is an LA Ram, I'm telling you.
Exactly. That's what we all had. We all had Mekhi Lemon going to the Rams. I totally agree with Mason here. I think that he's more of a slot guy. You don't really need that, especially with Chris Olave being more of that archetype. You can play both. He's pretty versatile. But yeah, I agree. Jordan Tyson on the outside would definitely be a huge help for Tyler Shuck, young quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. Is it that easy, Augie? Is it that easy? You go Jordan Tyson, you move on?
Yeah, it simply is that easy. They need a wide receiver that bad. Tyson is a heck of a prospect at wide receiver. You just take him. You don't overthink a draft pick. You just take the best guy at the position you need.
Okay, Nick Cohen, do you agree with that? Best available here for the Saints?
I agree. I mean, the Saints wouldn't be in the position to not take best available if they wouldn't have the 9th pick if they were in that position. So, and would you agree, Mason?
Yeah, I mean, if it's Downs, I'm thrilled too. The secondary wasn't great last year. The safeties could use some help. They lost Alontae Taylor, so they need a nickel. He could play nickel. He's very versatile. So
Absolutely.
Downs, I wouldn't be angry with. A receiver, I'm thrilled with. However, just stay away from the offensive line. That's a no-go.
I would agree. And you don't hear teams say that often because offensive line is such a coveted position in general. So for you to say that is kind of shocking. And we have some great offensive linemen still available. So, I mean, we'll just have to
Surprised we haven't had one go yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Me as well.
I mean, do you see Caleb Downs? I mean, he's going to keep falling here if the Saints do go offensive.
It's true, because you have to look at, like, what the next landing spots could be for Caleb Downs. I mean, the Giants are coming up with that 10th pick, and they could absolutely slide in and get exactly what they were looking for. So I think if he's not taken here with the Saints, the Giants definitely go and get him at 10. I mean, what a situation.
This is getting very good for the New York Giants fans. Ben Huber,
Yeah,
I'm very
right?
excited.
Really upset.
I'm very excited.
No matter what the Saints do here, the Giants are going to have a nice pick here at 10.
Yeah, Nick Cohen, do we
Line up
see
pretty
this? Do we see this falling into the New York Giants' laps here?
Potentially. I mean, I don't think really anyone thought that you guys would get Arvell Reese. I mean, so why can't the luck just continue? I hope that's not the case. And if it is, hopefully you guys mess up so that the Dolphins can get him. But we're another team that doesn't always draft correctly. So, we'll see. Okay, Kathleen.
It was a really good
Let's hope
try,
not.
though. Really good try,
Let's
Cohen.
hope not.
Thanks.
Yeah, you know.
Let's hope not. Mason Best, though, I mean, again, if you guys do end up going wide receiver here, how do you see the dynamic switching next year?
I think Tyson fits perfectly in that Saints offense. He fits the archetype that Kellen Moore is looking for. He's almost that A.J. Brown type receiver. He would get his big body guy, and you give Tyler Shuck a weapon. You pair Travis Achan, now how you say
There
it,
you go.
Chris Olave, Jordan Tyson, Tyler Shuck,
It's not too
MVP
bad.
season, dare I say? Could be.
I think you should dare, at least. I don't know about that one,
I
but
with
you know, it's a
caution.
good start, at the very least.
Throw a bold bet out there.
Why not? Yeah.
Kathleen Moore, you had an Eagles mention earlier than expected.
A.J. Brown,
Wow.
And we're not talking about him
potentially,
getting traded.
potentially
Shall we
not
talk
an
about
Eagle
A.J.
for
Brown,
much
actually?
longer. So kind of really hoping you guys don't go Jordan Tyson here. But I've also heard rumors about the Eagles being potentially involved in a trade with the Jags back in the
Wow.
first round with Brian Thomas, which I would be thrilled about because we all know how he does. He drafts for his replacements.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, Ben Huber, I mean, the pick is in for the Saints here. It's getting
been in for
close.
like
Are we
10 minutes.
still
Forever.
feeling Jordan Tyson?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think there's a lot of places they could go here. We were talking about Jordan Tyson a lot, but one guy we haven't mentioned, I don't think at all here, Ruben Bain's on the board. I think
is?
for me,
He is?
he's the best player in the draft. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. The arm length was a concern. The character was a concern. But I think he's going to have a huge year no matter where he goes. And we had him mocked to our favorite team.
We
Hopefully
did,
he slides.
Ben.
Hopefully
Yes.
he doesn't go here.
That's
Fingers
right.
are crossed. And you know
Right.
what? But Kathleen, you know what? Because even if Ruben Bain does
Singled you
not,
out.
I think with how the board has fallen thus far, I'm very much happy with some of the options that are going to be available at 11.
Mason Best, Jordan Tyson is your guy. Talk to me.
There you go.
It's a great day in New Orleans. It's a great
Wow.
day.
Rejoicing.
We're happy over here. It's Tyler Shuck season. That's all I have to say about that one. That's who the Saints needed all along. The best receiver in the class if he's on the field.
What a sentence.
big
It's
if,
Tyler Shuck's
but-
season.
Whoa.
What a sentence.
Whoa, did we expect
That
that?
was Tyler
Probably
Shuck's
not. But Augie, again, I mean, the Saints just went best fit for the Saints. Let's call it that, right?
Jordan Tyson is an elite playmaker, and he's just the best at the position they needed. So it's a perfect home run pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, and again, it complements the team well, Kathleen.
It
I mean,
does.
Saints fans and Mason Best and the rest, they're gonna go to sleep very happy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been quite some time since Saints fans were satisfied with their first round pick. Really, their draft performance overall.
Whoa.
Nathan, I'm sure this has been a miserable couple of years.
Shot there.
Whoa.
But we're getting back to the glory days, aren't we, Mason?
Tyson's getting shucked tonight.
We're,
Let's go.
We're back to the glory days.
Oh, no.
It's a great day as a Saints fan.
I had to say. Come on, guys.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy for you because
All right.
Saints
Thank
fans
you.
need it.
Thank
All
you,
right,
of course.
Nick Cohen, I'm throwing it to you because the Browns pick is in and Francis Mauigoa is climbing that board.
Nope. I would love to keep him for Miami. I think it absolutely could be offensive tackle here, though, because we were told heading into this draft that it should be receiver and tackle with their first two picks because they have two. So I think, considering how the board has fallen, there are better offensive tackles available than receivers.
You have Matt Polberg back at the big
do.
board.
Welcome
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's talk Cleveland Browns, Matt Polberg. Where are they going here?
It's offensive tackle right here. Honestly, they could go wide receiver. They have needs in all types of areas because guess what? They're the Browns. But
And we're the Cleveland
offensive
Browns.
tackle is probably the way I would go here. Spencer Farnu is available.
Just snuck into the big board.
Yeah, Spencer Farnu, Francis Mauigoa. Honestly, I go with Spencer Farnu right here because he is the better tackle. Started 3 years at Utah and did absolutely great things in the Big 12. 4.91 40, second among all offensive tackles. And the Browns, I think, should take Spencer Farnu right here.
Okay, Kathleen Moore. I mean, the Browns have been atrocious, and you came up with a pretty elaborate. I
Yeah.
don't even know what to describe it as.
So I came up when I was doing my note taking. I came up with a really long acronym for the Browns team needs. Please hold. WTF TCGJ PNMQBS. Whatever the flip they can get, just please no more quarterbacks. I think you have enough. I think that room is pretty full.
So it's not Ty Simpson?
I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but I don't
That'd
think
be
this
crazy.
Don't think
is
so.
the moment. So you go whatever you can get, but you go tackle. Like, realistically, that's where you go. Francis Mauigoa still being on the board,
Yeah.
kind of insane. That would be my pick, personally, over Fano
Okay.
at this current moment, if Mauigoa is still up there.
Nick Cohen, were you able to follow up with that acronym? I don't know if you got lost.
Oh, no, that's no. Hey, great job with that, though,
Hey,
Kathleen.
thanks.
Yeah, so
Original.
just want to disclose the trade details. The Browns picked up a third-round pick from the Chiefs, which I like for them because, again, I think at 6 they were considering Francis Mauigoa, maybe Spencer Fano if they liked him better, maybe Caleb Downs. They were considering a lot of the guys that are still available because this top 10 has been so unpredictable thus far.
Yeah.
So I love the move for the Browns, picking up a third-round pick and number 143 or 8. We don't care about that, but you know,
Rare
third-round pick.
intelligent moment for the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, rare.
That's right. Augie, I mean, again, the Browns have so many needs. Where are they going here with this pick at 9?
They're taking an offensive tackle, and it's not going to be Mauigoa, in my opinion. I think he's more of a guard at the next level. They're going with Fanu, in my opinion. I think he's the better setup to be a good tackle in the league. Now, it's Cleveland lost their entire offensive line. They could take Mauigoa, and I see him more of as a guard. They need everything, so either way, one of those two is not a bad pick. But I personally think you start to build with a tackle, and I think it's Fanu.
Okay. So Matt Polberg, we have some agreement here.
Yeah, I have some agreement. Yeah, offensive tackle all the way, I think. Spencer Fano. Yeah, no, that's definitely all the way, and I think this is the pick they make.
Yeah, okay. So the Browns at 9 still get great value.
I would have to agree here. I also think it's Spencer Fano. I do think obviously Maui Noah is on the board too, but I think Spencer Fano. I agree with what Matt said earlier. I think he is the better offensive tackle prospect. I think Maui Noah will bump into guard, and I like this a lot for the Browns.
I don't hate that take at all.
Sure.
I don't love the take that Maui Noah will automatically just bump into guard. I think he has the size to be a true tackle, whereas Fano does as well. But Fano, what I do like about him is that he's so versatile. He can play all 5 positions, and therefore I think he's more likely to slide into guard, not Maui Noah.
And Spencer Fano is a Cleveland Brown, so not just very likely, it's confirmed. Spencer Fano from Utah to Cleveland. Kathleen Moore, this is a great pick.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I had this in a lot of my really early mocks, but then there were questions about Fano falling for a while, so I kind of slid that to the side. But it's still a great pick. Spencer Fano has proved himself to be an incredible player. I mean, he's really well sized for tackle, and he could certainly slide into guard, but with the position the Browns are in now, I think it's more likely that they keep him in that offensive tackle spot.
Fano is a Brown. Matthew Paulbrook, you would have made this choice, and it's reality now.
Yeah, it's reality. This is a great pick just because Shedeur Sanders, the way he plays, is not able to do anything basically under pressure. To bolster that offensive line, that's the right move to make, and that's what they've done. And Shedeur Sanders, I think, is kind of projected to be the star this year. We'll see what happens. Again, the Browns are a disaster, but this is a good move for the Browns, and I'm very excited to see what happens.
Oh, I love what that lower third says. The Giants are on the clock, and the pick is in. Augie, I mean, tell me you agree, Caleb Downs. I mean, come on. It's a no-brainer.
I think they should take Caleb Downs, but I don't think they take him.
Okay, so talk to me then. You can't just leave me on the cliffhanger like that.
They need a guard. This is where Francis Mauigoa goes, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay.
I think people have seen him as both a tackle and a guard. I think the Giants see him as a guard, and they take him here.
Scott Harris, welcome to the big board. Welcome to Draft Show. Where are the Giants going here?
Okay, listen, I think it's in the best interest of the New York Giants to go Caleb Downs here. We're going to bring in another Ohio State alum here.
Yeah.
However, I think Francis Mauigoa being at the top of the big board would be, or at the second pick in the big board, might be something the Giants are looking at with nothing little going on, all right? I think it's going to be a tight tie between the two, and I think the Giants just are the team that's egregious enough to actually pick Francis Mauigoa. So I think here, over Caleb Downs, I think it's Francis Mauigoa who the Giants are going to take.
It is Francis Mauigoa. Nick Cohen, your initial thoughts?
I like the pick. I actually had this in my most recent mock draft because they really need offensive tackle. They are killing the draft thus far. Yeah. Agree, Edgar?
Oh, this is very exciting. This is great. Kathleen Moore.
I'm excited. You're smiling lot right now.
I am smiling.
Which there's a lot to smile about, honestly. Francis Mauigoa is such an incredible grab for you guys here. I had no expectations that he would still be here at 10.
Nick Cohen, Miami have traded their picks with the Cowboys, so Dallas is now picking at 11.
Oh, don't give me that.
One pick?
Oh my gosh.
What?
That feels so
What's
bad.
going on in Miami?
What could they possibly?
I think that's 2 heartbreaks right here. I think Dolphins fans wanted to bring Mauigoa, keep him in Miami, you know, but.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, it's just 2 heartbreaks in one right now.
Augie, what are Dallas cooking, man? I mean, one pick, is this really that significant, or is it?
The Cowboys need a safety bad. They make the move. They get Caleb Downs.
Wow.
This is what they were waiting for. They were waiting for Caleb Downs not to be chosen. These freaking sneaky Cowboys. I'm sick that they're going to fill their number 1 need with their first pick in the draft.
The first crash out at the desk comes from Kathleen Moore. I knew it was coming with the Dallas Cowboys. And at number 11, I mean, getting Caleb Downs, I mean, we might have thought he was going to be in Giants blue, but surely he goes to Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so.
Yeah.
But I have this sneaky suspicion that they're going to take exactly who I want. Exactly who me and Nick Cohen want right now. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Well, Nick Cohen, you have the ball in your hand. Is Ruben Bain going to Dallas?
No, I don't think so. But perhaps we let the Dallas fan take the pick.
Go for it.
It's Caleb Downs. It has to be. Like, there's no other person they would trade up for in this scenario. Caleb Downs is one of the best players in the draft. He fits one of your needs. I wouldn't be mad about Ruben Bain, but I wouldn't have traded up for Ruben Bain. There's just no way it's not Downs. He's the best safety in the class. He's going to be great on Dallas. If it's anybody else, I'll be shocked.
I agree, Nico,
Nico,
but
I
it makes
hate
me
your
very very upset.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Personal. Nico, of course, the defense is always put into question when it comes to Dallas. I mean, do you see that changing heading into next year?
With Caleb Downs, it very well could be.
Yeah.
We signed a couple of people on in free agency, and it's got to be better than last year. It can't be as bad as it was last year. It was like a bottom 3 defense.
I hope
It cannot be that bad again. And if we get Downs or even Bain, then I think it'd be way better than it was last year.
Well, Nick Cohen, can it be as bad as last year?
I mean, it absolutely can. We're not saying that Caleb Downs is a lock here, but I think it's pretty likely. I mean, there's not a lot of players that you would trade up for. I don't know what the trade details are. Again, only trading 1 pick. Surely they didn't give up a lot. And I'm just curious, what was going through the Dolphins' new general manager's mind trading 1 pick with the Cowboys when you had Caleb Downs sitting right there? So I think it's Caleb Downs here.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, and I think a little bit is just you want Ruben Bain in Miami. I understand it, Nick Cohen. I understand.
No, I want Caleb Downs.
Oh, you do now?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I think either way, I'll be happy. I think they would go Caleb Downs here. But I think they wouldn't trade 1 pick if they thought the Cowboys were going to pick who they wanted. You know what I mean? Or maybe they're just okay with either or. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's some great players available. We look at the big board. Caleb Downs at the top. Maui Noah just went. Vega Ioane would be a great pick for the Dolphins and the Cowboys, for the record.
Sure.
You guys could use some interior offensive line. Ruben Bain would be great as well. And Mekhi Lemon, I don't want at pick 11. Potentially hot take, Ben. I don't know about you.
I swear, if we take Monroe Freeling, I might crash out.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
Not even an
But,
option.
he's not even on the big board right now, so let's not entertain that.
Just shouldn't be the move. There's not a situation where that's the move.
No.
But it's a Dolphins move.
It is.
100%.
But we're not talking about Dolphins.
It reminds me of like
Cowboys are on the
Austin
clock.
Jackson back in 2017 or something.
Exactly. That's
who
exactly
we
what it
still have
reminds
on
me
the
of.
team and is okay. So maybe we don't entertain tackle here.
Augie, talk to me about this trading up 1 spot. I mean, it's just all talk to me.
See, what my thought process is, Downs was never going to be a Dolphin, because if the Dolphins wanted Downs, they wouldn't have made this trade with Dallas.
Agreed.
So I'm thinking Miami takes Bain at pick 11, or excuse me, at pick 12 now. And I don't necessarily see then why the Cowboys moved up, unless they were afraid of somebody else moving up to get Downs, which is a very strong possibility. And it's only 1 pick. You don't have to give up that much. You go up and get your guy. Downs is generational. Downs is my 2nd best player in this draft. You take him. He's a safety. Yes, we know he's not the most flashy pick. But at the end of the day, Downs is getting the 2nd best football player in this draft, and you can't say it's an overpay at all, for no matter, even if you had to move up and give up like a 4th round pick. Caleb Downs, 2nd best player. It's easy. You take him.
He would start day 1 in Dallas too, 100%, which, again, sick to my stomach.
Nick Cohen, again, you were shaking your head.
Well,
I mean, Caleb Downs has to be the picker for the Cowboys if they traded up.
I agree. I'm a little sick to my stomach with what they gave up. They gave up obviously 12 and then 177 and 180. Why do the Dolphins need more, 5th or 6th round picks those are? I do not like that move. You should be ecstatic, but
we still have 20. I'm happy. We still have another pick in this.
Well, granted, you wouldn't give up 20 for 1 pick, but
true.
Can you get me water, too?
I don't like that.
Ben Huber.
That's bad.
Yes, Augie, we'll get your water immediately. Ben Huber.
I mean, I think those 5th and 6th round picks, those are real needle movers. I don't know about you, Nick Cohen. I think that's exactly what we
you don't
do.
know about me because I
Those guys are culture
agree.
builders, Nick Cohen. How dare you?
Sure, we're getting our next Storm Duck, okay?
Exactly, that we are.
What do you guys know about Storm Duck? Kathleen Moore.
I mean,
Quite
a
a bit.
great name, right?
Nothing.
Fantastic name. You seem confused, Ben Huber. I mean, it is
what it is.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm not upset about it. I mean, it is what it is. If the Cowboys really want to trade up so bad for Caleb Downs, and that's not who we want to go with anyway. Oh well, sure, go for it. Let them have
Guess
it.
so. Oh.
Yep, and there it is. There it is.
Downs.
Caleb Downs is a Dallas Cowboy. Kathleen Moore, are we
Wow.
crashing out here? Please don't.
I am upset. I'll keep my cool. For the sake of my good friend Nick Cohen and Ben Huber, who I'm sure are horribly upset that Caleb Downs.
Ben
was
doesn't seem
split
very upset about it.
underneath you.
No,
I'm not too upset.
he's just moving on.
Because I didn't
What
think
are
we
we
were going to
doing?
go with him anyway. That's the thing. I know this organization isn't going to go with him, so why would I care that the Cowboys trade up with us to
You're
pick
just
him?
not surprised
I'm
at
just
this
not
point.
surprised.
All right.
It's not shocking anymore. The
Caleb
terrible
Downs is
behavior.
an amazing player. I think he's one of the best players in this draft, probably top 2 or 3. But like I said, I think Ruben Bain's the best player in this draft.
And he's probably going to go to Miami now. But Nico, you have Caleb Downs. Thoughts?
I'm more than happy with it. That was my number 1 player that I wanted. I didn't think he was going to fall this far. I thought we were going to have to stick with like Dylan Thieneman or somebody at safety. But he fell this far. We traded up 1 pick, and I'm super happy about it. Now we just got to get somebody with 20, somebody good enough.
All right, Ben Huber.
Hopefully not.
The Dolphins are on the clock. Is it again?
Let's make the obvious pick.
Is he
guys.
staying in
Let's
Miami?
keep him home.
Please.
Let's keep
Yeah?
him home. Let's do it.
I'm so ready for the Dolphins to select
Monroe
Makai Lemon. I am so ready. Or Monroe Freeling. I'm so
Denzel
excited.
Boston.
Oh my gosh.
And Augie, you can't put it past this Miami Dolphins organization.
I don't think they pick either one of those 2 guys. They lost 2 receivers this offseason. I think the pick's Makai Lemon.
Oh my goodness.
I think that you would probably witness the collapse of every single Dolphins fan in this room.
The tensions are high in studio. Nick Cohen, if Makai Lemon is picked, please don't leave.
No promises. Before I give my reasoning as to why I actually wouldn't mind Makai Lemon, we welcome in Austin Suarez, fellow Dolphins fan. It's a great fan base.
You guys are matching.
Makai Lemon, I don't know. Here's my thing. We really, really, really need receiver. However, since Jordan Tyson went really early, I think there is a pretty significant drop in receiver talent. So I wouldn't mind the pick, but, Ruben Bain would be really good, Austin.
I would love Ruben Bain. I mean, personally, have him on the other side of Chop. That would be absolutely amazing. I just want to say, John Eric Sullivan, what the hell are you doing? You are crashing my team. I have to go through another 6 to 7 years of pain because you want to make some whack-ah trades. But I would love
Jalen Waddle.
Oh my God, Jalen Waddle. Devon Achane hasn't even shown up for mandatory or for non-mandatory camp. I really wanted Caleb Downs. That was my guy, replacing Minkah Fitzpatrick. However, that's clearly not going to happen. Wanted Maui Noah. That's not going to happen. So, I think the best pick truly would be Ruben Bain Jr. or Makai Lemon. We can pick up Makai Lemon now and get a DB later on, like a Jeremiah McCoy or a Terrell.
Yeah, I would agree with that, honestly. I don't think McCoy will be available at 30, but trades are always an option.
1,000%, 1,000%. But for the time being, it's just very rough right now. It's a very rough watch.
So, I mean, again, we talk about the Dolphins moving 1 spot down, but you still might get the guy who you were asking for.
Right. And I think Nick Cohen definitely makes a good point here. I was very high on Makai Lemon in this draft class. I think he is, I'd say, the 2nd best wide receiver in this class. Jordan Tyson's already gone. And he kind of fits the mold of a Dolphins wide receiver, honestly.
So what is that mold exactly?
Smaller guy, fast. I think he's a good player.
So you're not wrong about that. However, new offensive scheme. So that could absolutely change.
Definitely
and I
new
just
culture.
can't help but think if we draft Makai Lemon here, how nice he would fit alongside Jalen Waddle. So I don't love that at all because we don't
Anyone's
have him
better
anymore.
than Jalen Tolbert at the end of the day.
True.
For right
Whoa.
now. For
That's
right
true.
now until we develop Jalen Tolbert.
Almost anyone.
Yes.
Develop Jalen Tolbert in the same sentence.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy.
Kathleen Moore, I mean, the Dolphins, again, is it going to be Bain?
It should be Bain. I think it should be
I'm
Bain.
gonna be Bain.
I'm having
Suspicion.
suspicions that it's going to be Makai Lemon now. 'Cause I saw that they're in love with Makai Lemon, apparently. They do like him a lot. but I don't know.
Bain is just the better choice.
Yes,
when
objectively.
Personally, because there's still a couple of decent wide receivers that are going to be around at 30.
Okay, well,
awkward.
Proctor, Nick Cohen. Proctor, yes, you heard me
Wow.
right. Ben Huber.
Hayden Proctor. Oh my
Are
God.
you serious?
What are we doing?
So bad.
Are you serious, Rainiel?
This is so bad.
This is Austin Jackson 2.0.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
This is maybe worse than Money if really.
No,
These sorry commissioners
You are
cannot
like-
draft to save their life. Nothing will ever save the Miami Dolphins.
This is a damned organization, unfortunately.
Grandpa Juan Suarez, why would you do this to me? Why would you make me a lifelong Dolphins fan?
Oh, that's a good question.
Nick Cohen, what could possibly be the thought process behind it?
I feel like I haven't had a second to think about
We gotta
what
cut
could
some-
be.
It's still processing.
Can we, like, commercial, like come on. This is
Not
such a bad pick. I do not vibe with this pick at all. You know, I guess the reasoning could be because he's versatile. You know, Alabama played him at receiver a couple times.
But why not
That's not why we're
Iowane?
drafting him.
If you're gonna draft a
like
line,
a
why
prank,
not
dude.
draft
It sounds like a
Iowane?
prank.
Iowane is a lot more versatile. He's bigger. You can fit him in the tackle position. Why Proctor?
No one's made a bad pick in this draft until now.
Augie, is this
Leave it to Miami.
yeah.
Leave it to Miami.
Augie, is this as bad as it seems as Austin Suarez is walking off?
I don't think it's the
Austin
best pick they
Suarez
could've
has
made. I don't think
unfortunately left the
Caden
building
Proctor
for the time being.
is the
Have-
worst pick
Go
that
on.
they could have made. I think like Lemon was a better fit, but I think Proctor's going to be a solid player, and I think 5 years from now you're going to look back and be like, oh, okay, yeah, like it wasn't that terrible of a pick.
That's real easy to say as a non-Dolphins fan, Nick
Why
Cohen.
are we drafting Caden Proctor? He is not going to start. We're not giving up on Patrick Paul already. And Austin Jackson is
are.
still, I hope not. And Austin Jackson is still somewhat startable, even though he's always injured. Sure. I
Caden
don't
Proctor
know.
is crying as he walks down the hallway.
I would be
even think-
crying too if I was going to the Miami Dolphins.
And he's at 12. Who has mocked Caden Proctor before pick
Like
18,
17.
bro?
Wow. Not a soul. Not a soul saw this coming.
Maybe Dan Orlovsky, but
Probably.
he has some of the worst takes I've ever seen.
His sources told him that Caden Proctor was going number 1 overall.
I need to lighten the mood here a little bit.
Please.
Can we move on from the Dolphins?
Oh,
Are you
yeah,
happy
yeah.
with that?
I would be happy to move on.
Let's happily move on then to the LA Rams. And again, is the pick obvious here, Nick Cohen? Let's liven it up a little bit.
Well, I mean, I don't think it would be obvious considering how the draft has been thus
Yeah,
far,
that's
right,
right.
Mason?
Yeah,
right.
I wouldn't say obvious is the key of this draft so
No,
far.
no, definitely not.
It's been a little chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the board, the Rams could use offensive linemen. They could, because they're such a good team, you can always use offensive linemen, apparently, unless you're the Saints. So Vega Ioane at the top of the board, I think, is definitely an option. Ruben Bain, wouldn't see as much of an option for the Rams. I think they're pretty set at pass rush, but you never really know. Mekhi Lemon is kind of the pick that we're all thinking currently.
Monroe Freeling as
we'll
well, I
see.
think, is a
He's
a solid option because they can bolster that line. I heard an idea that thrown out the other day that they might give Stafford an extension and give him another year or two in that contract. So you want to keep him on the field.
And they have some aging offensive linemen for
Yeah.
sure. Jermon McCoy would be a great pick by the Rams as well. Granted, they added some cornerbacks, both former Chiefs actually, but Jermon McCoy to even sit for a little bit, not be pressured to come back from that injury.
Well, I don't
would
think
be
he's
great.
going to be on the field in the first place. He's rumored to have another knee injury. So.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's
Not great for his story.
I was gonna push you on that, Nick. I mean, Jermon McCoy didn't play at all last year. I mean, but still, lots of people think he's gonna go in this first round.
I think he will. It's just a matter of like when, I would say.
Yeah.
I think probably the latest he should go would be 20 to the Cowboys. If he slips past them, then something seriously is wrong. I'm going to go ahead and just say that my prediction for this pick is going to be Mekhi Lemon. I don't think that the Rams are an amazing organization, unlike the Dolphins, so I don't think that they mess up a pick like this.
And they're greedy.
Super.
They are very greedy. Augie, how scary would that be? Mekhi Lemon, add him into what the Rams already have.
They're greedy, but I don't think they're going with the receiver. Stafford's almost 40 years old. I think they shock everybody and they take Ty Simpson. Because they need a QB for the next 2 years.
Simpson.
We know Sean McVay loves his offense. He loves the scheme up. I think how Nick was talking about you bench Mendoza. I think they do this with Ty Simpson. They sit him for 2 years, let Stafford play out until he rides off into the sunset, and they take Ty Simpson, just like how the Packers took Jordan Love.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
I kind of hate that a lot. I kind of don't agree with the Ty Simpson draft
propaganda.
Yeah, no. You need offensive tackle. Rob Havenstein is retired. You got to have those swing tackles to support Alaric Jackson and Warren McClendon. It makes more sense for you to go Vega Ioana here.
Well, Ben Huber. Ty Simpson is a reach here, Augie. I'll say that.
Yeah, I do agree. I think it's O-line or it's wide receiver. Yeah. Kathleen Moore has been hating on this pick. It feels like all day, maybe all year.
At least a month.
It would just upset me a lot because Howie's supposed to be the greediest GM in football.
Oh, so you just want the title? That's what
absolutely,
it is. Okay.
I do.
She's an Eagles fan, of course.
I mean, come on.
Not yet, Kathleen Moore. Not yet.
I will rep it forever, no matter what.
I know that for a fact. Augie, Ty Simpson. You're a Steelers fan. You guys are coming up soon-ish. Would you take him at Pittsburgh? Curveball.
See, that's the thing. I think Ty Simpson could either be a solid quarterback and a Kirk Cousins, or he will be a career backup. I think there's not a high ceiling for Ty Simpson, but I think there's a lower floor, there's a higher floor, but there's not that high of a ceiling.
Right.
I think he's stuck in this range. Is the reason why he might be a mid-first round pick at best, instead of a top 10 pick or a top 5 pick, to where the ceiling's here, but also the floor is much lower.
Well,
I
also
think he'll be a
drafting
decent
a
NFL quarterback,
but drafting a quarterback whose ceiling potentially is Kirk Cousins at the 13th overall pick is not the smartest move ever.
I personally think
especially
it's a good pick.
for a team that has 2 first-round draft picks, one in the 20s that they can absolutely do that with there.
Yes,
it makes no sense
agree.
here.
No,
not even a little bit.
But it's also not a lock that it's him. It could be any of these positions that are on the big board.
Yeah, Ty Simpson. I think we'll have to wait a little longer, Augie. I don't think we're buying this just yet. But again, Mekhi Lemon has been the overall consensus pick here for the Rams. Are they going to stick with that, Ben?
Yeah, there's a couple wide receivers here on the board, but Mekhi Lemon's definitely the best one, and especially what they need here. I think they're looking to win a Super Bowl this year, obviously. Yes. And I think Mekhi Lemon is a guy that can help them win. I don't think at this point Kenyon Sadiq is in play yet. Okay. They do need a tight end, but I'd say a pass catcher in the slot here, Mekhi Lemon. It just makes sense for what they're trying to build here. They keep they keep Devontae Adams for one more year. I was blanking real quick. They keep Devontae Adams for one more year, I'd say, and they also add Lemon. I think that pushes them over the edge, gets them the offensive production they need to win.
I'm glad you brought up Devontae Adams because he is getting up there, and he's not going to be a Los Angeles Ram for much longer. So Mekhi Lemon would be a great pick.
Oh my goodness, guys. We thought it was the impossible.
Wow.
But we are hearing Ty Simpson, Mason Best.
Oh, whoa.
This draft is shaping up to be insane.
Whoa.
Augie Aronson right on the money.
Augie, did you know something we didn't? What source do you have in Pittsburgh today?
Augie, are you Shefty? Be honest.
Dude, did Diana Rossini give you
Shefty,
the pick
there? No, we're not going down. We're not going down that rabbit hole. Augie, what? How? What?
Look, I know you guys talked about them being greedy and taking a receiver. The most important position is football is a quarterback. They're going to be extra greedy. Sean McVay knows how to develop a quarterback. Because you can say whatever you want about Jared Goff. He's not a bad quarterback. That Stafford's been great, but he was great before that.
Yeah.
But he needs his next guy to throw the ball for him. And he must be in love with Ty Simpson. So they took Ty Simpson.
Why?
At 13.
Why? Why are you in love with Ty Simpson?
I just think, okay.
He's going to be the next Jacoby Brissett. He's going to be the next Jacoby Brissett. Wow. Have a couple of, carrying seasons.
So surprising. I can't believe it.
Well, okay, Mason, I just want to ask you, because why not? Why would the Rams not trade this pick? If they don't actually want a Vega Ioane or really anyone except for Ty Simpson, why not trade this pick to a team like the Chargers potentially, who would be looking to jump the Ravens for Vega Ioane or a Ruben Bain? Why not trade this pick to get a better quarterback next year in a much better class?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm wondering if
Right.
nobody called, if nobody picked up the phone and was like, hey, this feels like the same scenario when the Falcons drafted Michael Penix, where you just don't get why. And as a Saints fan, I'm thrilled. I hate the Rams, so it's a great day in New Orleans, and it's even better now that they drafted a quarterback and wasted their draft pick. And the Falcons still suck, so.
And we are going to break on a high note for you, Mason Best. All right, people, don't go anywhere. So much more. Baltimore's on the clock. We'll be back very shortly. The quick interruption. We'll be right back for your show. For now, let me give you a quick rundown of what the Hitting the Field Network has planned for you. My name is Edgar Rodriguez, and I'm the host of Hitting the Field Season 22, live streaming every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. There, you'll find me and our expert guests talking about everything in the wide world of sports. On Tuesday, get ready because it's Season 10 of Nighttime. Hosted by Andrew Gregg and Joe Geiger, Nighttime keeps you up to date on everything happening in the world of college sports and UCF athletics. Moving on to Wednesday, we have Season 8 of The Combine, hosted by our very own Kathleen Moore. This podcast takes a deep and technical dive into everything NFL, and you won't want to miss that. On Thursday, we go live with Bets, where our Bets boys, Ben Huber, Augie Aronson, and Scott Harris, will give their expert opinion that might just make you some money. On Friday, Season 4 of Girls Got Game takes over with only the hottest topics in women's sports, hosted by none other than Katie Sue Christensen and Mia Flores. And to round out the week, Season 3 of HTFC comes on Saturday, hosted by Octavius Lawrence and Santiago Molina. Soccer never stops, and HTFC will be your stop for everything in the world of football. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, where you can find non-stop additional content, as well as stay updated on all HTFN news. Lastly, leave a like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the Hitting the Field Network on YouTube. That's all I got. I'm Edgar Rodriguez, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your show. We are back for the second time tonight. 1 hour plus has already gone. A huge shout out to everyone working on this draft show, by the way. Incredible so far. And the drama is only going to continue, okay? Yes. Baltimore Ravens, the pick is in. Nick Cohen, let's throw it to the big boy.
Yeah, we welcome back Austin Suarez as
I'm back.
This is, now, I think the player that is going to get selected here is a player that we were hoping for with the Dolphins before we royally messed that up. Vega Ioane.
100%.
I think he should be a lock for the Ravens. However, we've also said that numerous times tonight, and those teams have just went totally awry. Ioane is the biggest need at offensive guard for the Ravens.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, they got rid of Tyler Linderbaum. And what transitions well into center, a more power blocking heavy kind of position? Guard. Guard is the perfect spot. So, Ioane, 1,000%. I can see Ruben Bain Jr., however, to complement Trey Hendrickson. I could even see Mekhi Lemon because, besides Zay Flowers, who else does Baltimore really have?
Good point.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. I'm not suggesting that he plays center, but their current starting guards are Andrew Voorhees and John Simpson. So.
They lost Linderbaum. They lost Isaiah Likely. These are some big changes also going on at the Ravens,
yes,
Ben.
Definitely. I think they look to replace one of those positions, either offensive line or tight end.
Yeah.
And it is.
And there you go. Ioane is a Baltimore Raven. Nick
There
Cohen,
you go.
you've been high on him
choice.
the whole time. Yeah, in the weeks leading up to this draft. This makes sense for Baltimore, doesn't it?
Yeah, I had him as my 6th best player. You're getting him at 14. We weren't expecting him
What a
to
steal.
fall all the way to 14. So it's a home run pick for, an organization that actually knows how to draft.
Yeah, finally a pick that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Ioane was such a good choice here. You could have gone Mekhi Lemon, could have gone for a skill position, but Ioane was such a good choice. It must be nice, Nick Cohen.
Don't rub it in.
Let's just
simmer
wait
down.
to see who
You know what you're
Howie
doing,
drafts.
I do. That's why I said it.
I'm fully prepared for Howie to draft Caleb Banks for
No!
you guys.
Whoa,
Whoa,
let's dish
as
it back.
long as you are clowning on us, so I would tread carefully.
Whoa.
Augie, Okay.
Caleb Banks is an absolute stud. Don't hate on
All right,
Caleb Banks.
Augie, we're not-
As a
no,
Gators fan,
no.
I know he's injury prone. He is a stud, and he'll be a monster in the NFL.
Wow. The Cohen?
Hot takes.
But this is a good pick.
Why do you disagree?
I'm not very
still
high on
harping on
Caleb
this
Banks
pick.
in general. And so therefore, if Kathleen wants to keep this up, yeah, he's going to be an Eagle in about an hour.
Sure.
Oh my
sure.
goodness.
Whatever you say, Cohen. Whatever you say.
All right,
Cool.
Joe Geiger, I'm going to give you a name, and I know it's going to not make you happy.
Oh,
Kenyon
boy.
Sadiq.
Yeah, no. Bucks don't
Yeah,
need
no.
any more pass catchers. I know we only have the one tight end in K. Dotton that I think the Bucks feel comfortable with, but yes, he's a great talent. But with the name like Ruben Bain on the board still,
yeah.
and with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers needing pass rushers, they have had a problem getting the quarterback ever since Todd Bowles became the head coach. And with a name like that on the board, I don't know how you don't take him.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I envy you.
But yeah,
Didn't go to Miami, but he's going to the other coast in Tampa
Right.
Bay.
Yeah, in my mock draft, personally, I had Akeem Mesidor going to this pick, the other Miami edge rusher, but I didn't think Ruben Bain would be here for this long. So I absolutely think they crushed this pick, and they draft Ruben Bain. I've said it 1,000 times. He's the best player draft. Come on, you got to get Ruben Bain here.
Best player in the
He,
draft.
he has to get selected here, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's been too far of a fall. What are we, pick 15?
15?
Now, yeah, it's time.
Flying
Get him
through.
off the board.
How
What
does
if,
it?
what if they drafted Mekhi Lemon, basically just a copy of Emeka Egbuka last year? How would you feel about that?
yeah,
Joe?
I think I was. I didn't think I was stunned last year when they took.
We all were.
Ibuka, but he ended up. I think it ended up working out in the long run because we lose Mike Evans in the offseason. He's obviously going to kind of fill in that role, but the Bucks have plenty of pass catchers. I think Baker's going to have a bounce back year, hopefully. But defense has been an issue. Our secondary's young. 2 rookie corners last year. They've only improved since their first starts, and they got to get to the quarterback. They blitz a lot with Todd Bowles, and leaving the secondary exposed when they blitz, we get picked apart when there's a good quarterback there. So we need to get to the quarterback. It's available for us. Don't mess this up.
Very wise words.
You can't have another pass catcher in Tampa Bay. It's too many mouths to feed, and that's when you start having people really unhappy on your offense. They're not getting enough touches.
Augie, how does Ruben Bain change Tampa Bay if that is the pick here?
First of all, it's a home run pick. They really need an edge. They lost some defense. Todd Bowles, defensive guy. I love this pick, and I've been really high on Ruben Bain the entire time. I think he's elite. You can say what you want about his short arms or whatever and his driving record. I just think Ruben Bain is a football player. I love the motor he plays with, and I think Tampa Bay is getting a home run pick here.
I mean, Ben, it's been a relatively quiet free agency period for the Bucks. I mean, but does this play into their hands?
I definitely think so. They definitely lost more than they gained in the offseason. I think Todd Bowles desperately needs some defense here. He's losing his job. I think it's not looking good for him. So I think he needs to shore up this defense. I think it's a no-brainer to take edge here. I think Ruben Bain's the obvious play.
Well, and also, another name that was rumored to go here before we thought that Ruben Bain would fall was Akeem Mesidor.
Right.
He really had the chance to shine this past year because of Ruben Bain. So to be able to get the better of the 2 Miami edge rushers, Joe, I mean, you got to be over the moon about that, potentially.
When I was watching the college football playoff and watching Miami make a run to the national championship, you saw how good that D-line was. I mean, they were the reason they got to the national championship game. And right when we were watching that game, me and all my Bucks friends were like, we need one of those 2 guys in the red and pewter next season. And we have the option. They're both there. I wouldn't mind Mesidor, but obviously Ruben Bain, as we've said a lot here, is the right choice. Either one of those guys, though, is I think going to make a big difference. And staying in the state of Florida, that's usually big for guys coming from college. It's nice with the fans. Obviously, I personally don't like Miami, but that's okay.
All right.
Ben, you bring up an interesting point with Todd Bowles. Joe Geiger, are you in the same boat? Is his seat getting a little warm here?
Oh, his seat's been burning hot for a few years now, but I'm not surprised they didn't let him go this past year, just because the sheer amount of coaches that got fired. There's a lot of teams looking for head coaches in this offseason, but Bowles has been on the hot seat for a good bit. The only problem is the NFC South. Garbage, right?
Yeah,
not
great.
good at all. So the Bucks kept winning the division. It's hard to fire a coach who does win the division and get to the playoffs. You know, they did it with Dungy. They brought in Gruden. He ended up winning the Super Bowl, but a lot of people say that was Dungy's defense. It was kind of that same thing. no, we don't have a John Gruden coming in, but they're giving Bowles another chance here. Hopefully it works.
I mean, that story kind of sounds a little bit like Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, and they pulled the trigger. So I guess we'll have to see which team it works out best for.
Sure. How long do you give him, Nick Cohen, if you were in that seat with the power? Todd Bowles headed into 2026.
Not long. I think by trade deadline, if you are in the NFC South, if you're even a little bit below 500, pull the trigger, because Todd Bowles, not a good coach, as we all know very much.
Joe Geiger, you got your guy. Ruben Bain is a buck. Talk to me.
There you go.
I'm ecstatic. I mean, that is, like I said, when we were watching the playoffs, I was like, we have to get Bain or Mesidor. And this is an absolute steal for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And hopefully they start good and finish good next year and not have another collapse.
So he's not a Dolphin, Ben Huber, but he's a Buck. How does that make you feel?
You know what? I'm happy for the Buccaneers.
Oh my.
What?
What? Uh-oh. Man, you're too kind.
Yeah. Uh-oh. You know, I'm glad that you got the best player in the draft. You know, that's all I can say. You know, the Dolphins.
Sorry, I have to call it out at some point. The best player in the draft,
yes.
Ben?
Yeah,
yes, the best player in the draft.
Wow.
Okay.
I think when you go based off value as an edge rusher,
yeah,
this guy is going to be, in my opinion, I'd say a top 15 edge rusher in the league, which they're hard to come by. I say maybe top 10. I'd say it's pretty good for this draft class.
Jeez. Bain to Tampa. I mean, Kathleen Moore, your thought?
I mean, it's exactly the pick that Tampa should have made here. Ruben Bain, what a steal at this spot.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's great for them.
16, and the Jets are back on the clock. Apparently a pick has been made. Nick Cohen, where are the Jets going here?
I think your guess is as good as mine with how this draft has been going. Would you agree, Francisco?
Yeah.
I think they could use, again, any of these positions, because maybe except for, well, Ruben Bain just got picked, because they're pretty set at edge right now after picking David Bailey at 2. Ioane would be good for them. Mekhi Lemon, I think, is kind of the glaring choice here, and Jermon McCoy could be great as well. I think anything except tackle.
Yeah.
I think that Jermon McCoy is the choice here. I mean, this is the pick that you traded from Indy, and you gave away Sauce Gardner. So I think you need to fill that gap with Jermon McCoy. However, Kenyon Sadiq might be an interesting one here too.
That would be very interesting, to say the least. I mean, he fills the role of a pass catcher. So,
however, it would be a very Jets thing to do, especially since you drafted Mason Taylor last year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Kathleen Moore, do you think the Jets are a little upset that Ty Simpson isn't available here?
Like, if you wait a year, you're going to have a better quarterback class anyway. So I don't think they're too bent out of shape about it. I do think that Kenyon Sadiq could be a very fun choice for the Jets here. I mean, he can play a lot of different roles in the pass catching. So it could be fun. I mean, granted, you have Geno Smith throwing to him, which is not great. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Again, a little side there. Augie, Kenyon Sadiq, potential to be a fun pick, like you called it.
Yeah, I agree. They need a weapon on offense.
Yeah.
They also need a corner, but I think the McCoy injury concern, where he missed all of the last season, and what I've been hearing about him is that he's not quite where teams want him to be physically. I think they stay away from that because they're concerned about injuries. I think they either take Mekhi Lemon or they take Sadiq. They need some explosive playmakers alongside Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Sadiq fits in perfectly. Mason Taylor is not a tight end. He's a tight end, but he's not a tight end one. He's not your ideal starting tight end. Kenyon Sadiq is. I like him, and I like Mekhi Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon to the Jets. I mean, this is kind of
it's kind of falling into the lap a little bit. Yeah,
sure.
I do definitely think they go receiver here.
Yeah.
I could see also Omar Cooper, though. That's a guy that I had going to them. But I think with Mekhi Lemon available, it makes more sense to go Mekhi Lemon. But Omar Cooper is a guy that's been rising up draft boards a lot in the past week or two. So I think that's in play for them, for sure.
Two good options at receiver there.
Yeah, I mean, a slot receiver in New York could be really lovely for the Jets right now. I mean, I think that would really even out their receiving corps. But again, you don't have a good guy throwing the ball to him.
Right. Nick Cohen, Omar Cooper, is he in the conversation?
He's in the conversation. I would probably, if I had to choose, I would choose Kenyon Sadiq for the reason that he is purely a pass catcher. He can play in the slot. He can play tight end. He can do it all for the Jets, and that would be a big relief for, I guess, Geno Smith is who we're rolling with. But I think it would just be a great pick for the Jets, opposed to Mekhi Lemon, who is purely just a receiver, even though he's great at it.
And guess what? Kenyon Sadiq is going to continue wearing green.
Well,
great. Francisco Vera, the fun pick, has transpired.
I mean, like Nick was saying, this is an interesting pick because he can work in the slot slot space and have Mason Taylor as a blocker.
Exactly.
So I feel like this is a good pick for the Jets, but obviously when you have Geno Smith throwing the ball, it's a very questionable decision because I don't think that, I don't know, Geno Smith is just really bad.
Well, I think what you're trying to say is that Kenyon Sadiq isn't instantly going to change this offense.
Oh, no.
Because you still have Geno Smith.
Exactly.
You are extremely limited.
How can you be a difference maker when you don't have any assistance at all? But I love Kenyon Sadiq. I've loved him for a long time. He's so quick. I mean, his route running is incredible.
And I don't look, the Jets, I mean, 140 pass yards per game, 15 passing touchdowns, both the worst in the NFL. Kenyon Sadiq made sense here, and they went for it, Ben.
Yeah. I think Kenyon Sadiq will be used a lot like I'd say a way more athletic version of the way Harold Fannin is being used for the Browns. I mean, definitely not a good passing offense, but he's got so many touches in the Browns offense just because they scheme him open, and he's able to utilize his big frame. And even though they have Shadur Sanders as their quarterback, Pro Bowler Shadur Sanders.
Yeah, for sure.
They're still able to get some production out of their guy.
Lord.
Judah Wells, your Detroit Lions are on the clock. Dan Campbell, this is huge for him.
I'm genuinely so excited about this pick. I did not think these two players were going to be available. I'm looking right here at this number 2 and this number 6.
Okay.
Either one of these make me happy. Monroe Freeling or Dylan Thieneman. I'm happy with either one of these. I'm thrilled with either one of these, to be honest. We need somebody to protect Goff. He's been characteristically under pressure and under duress. And then on the other side of the ball, we're banged up and injured the entire season. Within 3 weeks, we lose like 2 starters almost every year. On the defensive side of the ball, we need depth, and we need skill position players.
Nick Cohen, lots of shootouts for the Lions. 4 losses when scoring at least 24 points. Do one of those 2 players that Judah mentioned kind of solve that for them?
I would say so, absolutely, at least to an extent. Probably offensive tackle more than safety, because in some of those games, if Jared Goff had more time to complete some passes, or even on the offensive line running the ball, if Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery could have gotten it going a little bit more, I think the Lions can win some of those games. Safety, I think, would be a great option for Judah and the Lions. But I think they have to go with Monroe Freeling here.
I do agree.
Monroe Freeling to the Lions. Yes. Augie, we have a lot of head nodding. Are you nodding your head as well in the podcast room?
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. I think they take an offensive tackle here. I don't know if it's necessarily Monroe Freeling, maybe Blake Miller out of Clemson, one of those guys. I don't necessarily think it's a safety or anything defensively. Taylor Decker retired. I think you got to protect Goff. Goff is a stone statue in the pocket, and when he gets time to throw, he's great. He needs time to throw. They take an offensive tackle. It's either Freeling or Miller, in my opinion.
Judah, Pacheco is in Detroit now. How did that move make you feel?
It was really, really weird. Like, I mean, we lost a good running back and then got a formerly good running back. Felt odd. I know that Gibbs stepped into the RB1 role, and Montgomery has always been kind of thought of as the RB2 in that offense. Gibbs is just that good. So I like Pacheco. I like what he did with the Chiefs, but I just don't feel too excited about it. I'm not over the moon.
Okay. You agreed with Monroe Freeling to the Lions.
I do.
What does he bring to Detroit?
Well, we mentioned it previously. Jared Goff needs time to sit in the pocket. He's not exactly a mover. So I think if you bring a guy like Monroe Freeling in there to give him just a couple spare seconds, and that really could make the difference in a lot of these close games that the Lions have had to face.
Yeah, Ben, I mean, 9-8 last year wasn't good enough in Detroit.
It wasn't. And I do think them losing Taylor Decker is a huge deal. I think Monroe Freeling can definitely fulfill that role. I think he's more of a raw prospect on the offensive line, though. He did have an amazing combine. He brings a lot of athleticism, good size. I think one of the more obvious guys that is going to stick at tackle, right? We see a lot of these guys in this draft not necessarily going to stick at tackle, maybe move into guard, Maui Noah and Fano, both those kind of archetypes. But he's definitely a tackle.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's what they need.
Freeling to the Lions. Does this get the Nick Cohen seal of approval?
It does, and not only is he like a tackle, not a guard, he is a left tackle, and that is what the Lions need. Very much so. Seal of approval easily. Agree?
Oh yeah. Cool. Oh yeah. Okay. Very happy.
Well, and Freeling's not really the guy who's going to play both sides for you, right?
No.
Like he's gonna play left and he's gonna stick there, and it's gonna be beautiful. I just want it to be announced.
The pick is in. Judah Wells, look, 9-8. I mean, again, I think we can all agree that was a pretty disappointing season. You had 27 wins in the last 2.
Yeah, we found out pretty quickly that the Super Bowl window was in severe jeopardy.
Yeah.
So that 9-8 was a huge wake-up call. 2 losses to the Vikings in division play. Really, really disappointing. A lot of games, like Kathleen said, were very close, and they're maybe one O-lineman away from winning. So Freeling would be a great pick here.
Freeling would be very nice in Detroit. I think we can all agree on that. And again, Augie, do you see this being a potential momentum shift here in Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can keep Jared Goff upright, we saw what happened the last couple of years, not so much last year, but the years before that, as how this offense can click.
Yeah.
So this team needs somebody to protect him on his blind side. So if Jared Goff's got time to throw, things click on offense. I like how the way this team can set up.
All right,
and roll into the future.
Yeah, Kathleen?
I do think that this is definitely a Dan Campbell pick.
Yes.
Like this is very him. So I can't see it going any other way at this point. But also, surprises happen all the time on draft night. So who knows?
So let's talk surprises. Big board people, talk to me. If it's not Freeling, then who is it?
Big board.
That's the entire reason I pointed at Thieneman here. Like, that's the only reason I pointed him out. I knew we needed an O-lineman more than anything. But if Campbell decides to go insane, as he often does, and go for it, which he loves to do, that could happen.
Yes. Well, I will say this. Now, I could totally say this and then instantly be wrong. But this, we have 2 receivers in the top 6 here.
Yes.
Mekhi Lemon, Omar Cooper Jr. They theoretically are options. I think it would be a little bit insane, but that's how.
It would be so
I'm
crazy.
going to cut you off. It's
Okay.
Blake Miller. It's Blake Miller to Detroit.
Big offensive line, but not.
Judah Wells.
He was next on my list. Like, I was looking at him.
So your
for
your third choice.
Well, technically, I guess if we're talking about all positions for the O-line, he was my second choice. I had an eye on him, but very interesting to me. Very interesting.
What do teams know
At
about
least you got the
Monroe
position you
Freeling?
want.
We did get the position.
Yeah, falling. Nick
I'm
Cohen.
not super surprised, honestly.
No?
I think it was the combine. He was highly touted for that combine, but I think that's really all that teams are enamored by.
Yeah.
I think that his tape doesn't necessarily show that he is ready yet. I think he'll still be a first rounder, obviously, but I think that the initial hype from that combine wore off. I think he's got great athleticism, but that's kind of where it ends for him.
Nick Cohen, is this pick confusing you a little bit?
No, I don't think I can be confused anymore tonight. I say that now, but it's not really confusing me because, again, they got the position they needed. Blake Miller can play left tackle. He does play left tackle. But, I really do think Monroe Freeling would have been a much better selection.
Wow. Vikings. Before we move on.
Could have been scared, of a Georgia player going to Detroit, one of the most dangerous, law-breaking cities in the world.
Okay, let's move on. Then.
Sorry.
Let's move on.
Georgia players bad
Don't
rep.
let him drive to the stadium.
Don't let him drive there, please.
Let's stay away from that. Augie, the Vikings pick is in. What do they need in Minnesota?
They need 2 positions badly in Minnesota, a defensive tackle and a safety. Dylan Diamond is a potential pick here. Defensive tackle is a little strange to me. I feel like some of these defensive tackles are reaches. I know I talked about how I was very, very high on Caleb Banks. I feel like you could get him a little bit later in this draft because of his injury history. Peter Woods, potentially out of Clemson, back-to-back Clemson picks here. It's another guy I'm thinking maybe here too. I personally would maybe lean a little bit more the safety. Wouldn't necessarily be surprised if they take a defensive tackle, but these are their top 2 needs here. So I think they go somewhere amongst these 2.
Caleb Banks from Florida is a Minnesota Viking.
Wow.
They were quick with that. They knew exactly who they were going to get.
They really were.
That is really shocking.
I'm not a very big fan of that. I think that they had a pretty decent D-line. Jalen Redmond, edge rusher Jonathan Grenard. I mean, you know, for me personally, I would have picked Thieneman here. You have that, you know, Harrison Smith, players coach kind of feel. I'm at a loss for words once again. One thing I can say is their GM is their former capologist, and he makes some very money-savvy picks, and this just might be a money-savvy pick.
I wonder why you go Caleb Banks here. Like, are you looking to beef up a defensive line that was kind of already in a really good spot? I just don't really get it.
Second big reach of this draft, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Kyler Murray moving there. Nick Cohen, before we go to break, did that move have anything to do here?
Yeah, definitely not. Going the total opposite side of the ball. However, okay, defensive tackle was a need. I agree with that. Nose tackle? I don't know, because you could use the other two positions on the defensive line when you're running a 3-4. Nose tackle, they had Jalen Redmond, as you mentioned. I'm not saying he's an all-pro, but he is a starter.
He's on his way to becoming an all-pro, and I will say that right now.
Bold take.
No, I mean, no, just look at him. He's grown from, I believe it was either the XFL or the UFL, and he is on pace to becoming one of the best defensive tackles in this league.
Wow. Very adamant from Austin
apparently not if he's going to get benched for Caleb Banks.
Yeah, no, that's very scary. Very scary.
It definitely worries me about Caleb Banks, though. He's a bigger guy, one of the biggest defensive tackles in this class, and he's got some injuries right now, and it's really concerning, these lower body injuries with these bigger guys. It's hard for them to recover.
All right.
6'6", 330.
Yeah.
That's right. Almost 2 hours have gone. This has flown by so far. When we come back from our second break, the Carolina Panthers, they're on the clock.
It's that time of year again, and another NASCAR Cup Series season means another edition of the Daytona 500. Once again, fans flooded the Daytona International Speedway last weekend to cheer on their favorite drivers. And their not-so-favorite drivers, too. And as always, our HTF Bets crew was fired up to make their picks.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
But let's take a look at how those predictions played out. Augie took a look at the reigning Daytona 500 champ and thought, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I'd choose another outright race winner in the number 24 car, William Byron.
Coming off of 2 straight wins in the 500, Byron had a shot at being the first driver ever to make it 3 in a row.
Look, he's going to be the first person to make history.
But unfortunately for Augie, the 24 car had a quiet race, crossing the finish line in 12th place with 0 laps led. Scott, on the other hand, had his sights set on none other than
Ross Chastain,
hoping he would finish top 3. The Melon Man raced a promising drive, trading the number 1 spot throughout the 500 miles and leading a total of 12 laps. But to Scott's disappointment, he finished far from the top 3 as the 20th driver to take the checkered flag, meaning that the desk was now 0 for 2. But luckily, Ben decided to put his money on an absolute veteran.
For my pick, like I said, Battle of the Bush, I got Kyle Busch to finish top 3.
Another driver hungry for his first Daytona 500 win, Kyle Busch rocketed his car to pole position in qualifying, starting the big race in first. The number 8 car was clearly on a mission, racing at the front of the pack and leading 19 laps on the night. But even after finishing the second stage in 4th, Busch could only manage a 15th place finish in the end. So who should the boys have placed their bets on? How about the man who led only 1 lap the entire race? That's right, Tyler Reddick's number 45 car started the final lap in 4th place and steered past the chaos to cross the finish line in 1st. Reddick's heroic last lap pass was followed up with some well-deserved burnouts as the 2311 Racing Team celebrated their first win in the Great American Race. Take a bow, Tyler Reddick. You are now a Daytona 500 champion.
All right, we are back. Second break is done. This draft has just been unbelievable so far.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started, that's right. We have a very anxious guest right now, Nick Cohen, at the big board.
Yeah, we're going to give the ball to Noah Green back again for his team. I'm not even going to talk too long. Just go for it.
Die-hard Carolina Panthers fan right here. Been one since 2013. And according to Dan Morgan, we're taking the best player on our board. I see Mekhi Lemon here. I think you got to take him. Send Kadoosh to the UFL. Like, elite punt returner right there.
Shout out Storm.
Dylan Thieneman. Nick Scott was not a big fan of him last year. Would love Dylan Thieneman in our secondary. Don't think that you can go wrong with that. Monroe Freeling is another guy I would really like. Ickey's hurt. I like Rasheed Walker as a starter.
I'm going to sub you there, Noah Green. You got your guy, Monroe Freeling.
Okay. That wasn't necessarily my guy. But I think I might have rather Mekhi Lemon or Omar Cooper. But listen, the Bucks just got Ruben Bain, and we need somebody to protect Bryce Young's blind side long term. And I think Monroe Freeling is going to do an excellent job of that.
Nick Cohen, Monroe Freeling, does this make sense?
Yeah. I think Noah was making a good point that tackle was potentially not their biggest need with Moten and Ickey and Rasheed Walker. But as he mentioned, injuries happen. And then the Bucks just got Ruben Bain on top of every other player that is in the division, a weak division at that, granted. I think that this pick will help you guys out because injuries happen. That's the important takeaway here.
Augie, let's throw it to you. Monroe Freeling to the Panthers. Thoughts?
I personally am with Noah. I think they probably could have taken the safety a little bit more. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I know more about the Carolina Panthers than Noah Green. So I personally would have gone with what he would have gone with, but I think Monroe Freeling's a solid pick. It just might not have been their most important need.
All right, the Eagles have their pick in. We're going to throw it to the big board right now. Sure. Before we go to you, Kathleen Moore, Nick Cohen, is Kathleen Moore going to be happy after this pick?
Honestly, I have no clue. I think everything is such a mystery because you have safety here. You guys lost Reed Blankenship. I know Kathleen for a while was hoping.
That was devastating.
Yeah. I know Kathleen for a while was hoping for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, and that was mainly because Thieneman was off the board in most of our mock drafts. He is on the board.
I'm going to stop you there, Nick Cohen. Mekhi Lemon is a Philadelphia
What is
Eagle.
happening?
Whoa.
Why?
What is going on?
AJ Brown's gone. What do you mean why?
No, we need to fill the Reed Blankenship-shaped hole.
Well, you didn't.
You have Andrew Makuba still, though. He's not terrible.
I would love two really solid safeties. Mekhi, yeah, fine, but Smitty is a great slot receiver. Why are we drafting Mekhi Lemon?
I think surely AJ Brown is out of the door.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Obviously, he's not going to fulfill an AJ Brown type of role, but I think you need another pass catcher. You can't just rely on.
Dallas Goedert may be coming back though.
You can't rely on who you have. I think you need a Mekhi Lemon, a guy that's dynamic. I think this is a perfect pick. I think Howie killed this one. I don't know why you're upset.
You also traded up for him.
Want a safety.
You're not trading up for a safety when two are still on the board. I
just like Thieneman more than Emmanuel Warren.
Sorry, Noah Green. You looked distraught behind the cameras, and I felt so bad. That was brutal.
I don't think you're trading up for safety here.
God forbid I have a preference for who my team drafts. God forbid.
All right, Augie, a new wide receiver at the Eagles. I mean, again, AJ Brown, you might be losing him.
I love it, honestly. Yes. I think A.J. Brown is on his way to New England to join Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini in New England. Okay. I think it's perfect.
Let's not touch that subject, please.
What did Augie say? What did he say?
Oh, he just mentioned the Vrabel situation again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we can't talk about Mike Vrabel. I mean, he's an NFL coach.
No, Ben. I think we both know
it is a touchy subject.
More of that story at the moment.
Probably not.
I don't know
the
what
best
you guys are
time.
talking about.
Probably not the best time to mention.
Head coach of the New England Patriots.
It's okay.
They're trading for. They're trading
father of Diana Rossini.
Wait, so
whoa! This is news to me.
Wait, what pick are we at?
We're at the Steelers pick.
We're at so Mekhi Lemon to the Eagles. Next will be the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 21. Nick Cohen. I'm gonna throw it to you.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers could use a number of positions, namely quarterback, but I don't think you're reaching on a Carson Beck here or a Drew Allard, right, Augie? You could use receiver. Mekhi Lemon just went. Do you guys panic on a Casey Concepcion or Omar Cooper? I could see Omar Cooper here. I kind of want to know your thoughts, given some of the top options on the board.
I don't know why we would take another receiver. They'd be receiver number 3 for us since we got Michael Pittman.
Do you not need 3 receivers in a successful offense?
Yeah, but I don't see us drafting these guys. I mean, maybe, who knows what we're thinking. I don't think they're worth that pick. If I'm honest, I think we're probably going to take a freaking lineman again for like the 8th straight year.
Who would that lineman be if you had your choice? Emmanuel Pregnon?
I could care less, honestly, man. Like, I'm sure they got their own thing in there.
You sound defeated, Augie.
Oh, no. Nico, you're back at the big board. I mean, Augie isn't happy. What do you think the Steelers are going to do here?
It's really hard to tell with the players remaining. I could see them going receiver. I could see them maybe going corner if they really wanted to. I like Thieneman here maybe for them. It's just really hard to tell.
I agree
could
with
be
that.
the pick though.
Okay. Ben Huber?
Yeah, I do just have a feeling Thieneman's going to continue to fall here. I think they could. It's not really one of their top needs, but they could go corner here. I feel like there's a lot of talent still on the board at corner. We've only seen Mansour Delane go. You have Colton Hood. You have Jermon McCoy, Davion Terrell. A lot of guys still available here in this secondary.
I think Jermon McCoy would be an excellent pick for the Steelers.
Still available. Still available. Augie, what do you think of? I'm gonna throw this this topic into the conversation. Aaron Rodgers still hasn't made an announcement on anything. Is he returning? Is he gone? What's going on there?
First of all, I think he stays. They brought Mike McCarthy, and I feel like to almost be like his guy again and bring him back for at least one more season. I don't hate what you guys said at all about taking another secondary piece. I don't really care which one of them, honestly. I don't mind another corner. They'd probably be corner 3 behind Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter Jr. Safety, we lost Minka in the trade. We could use a safety. I don't hate the Dylan Diamond pick. I think that'd probably be my favorite pick, honestly.
Are you like super against an Omar Cooper pick here?
Sounds like it.
I'm not against them. I just think we have another role that might be a little bit easier to, or not easier, a little bit more important to fill.
Yeah. But
and our defense was supposed to be the top. We pay them the top of the line money. They didn't necessarily play the top of the line sometimes. Let's get it back to top of the line. That's Pittsburgh Steeler football.
But wasn't that a problem last season, Augie, not having that much depth in that receiver role?
Yes, but then we added Michael Pittman Jr. I like, honestly, adding him. Rico Dowdle is another guy who can catch the ball, too. I know he's mostly a running back, but he can be used in the pass game. I like us taking defense here.
Okay. Ben Huber, do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I said, I think secondary is the play here. I feel like that's what is on the board for you. I think you pick like a best available kind of position. I think you go corner. I know Jalen Ramsey, you do have him. You have Joey Porter. Jalen Ramsey's been a guy who's been a little bit more versatile in position-wise later on in his career. We've seen him play a little bit of safety, play a little bit of corner. So yeah, I think that either way, you could pick a corner. You can play wherever.
There's some needs here, Nick Cohen. Which one is the biggest one, do you think?
I kind of disagree, if I'm being so real. I think your defense was fairly good enough. Maybe not, steel curtain defense, but I think the biggest need comes on the offensive side of the ball. Again, we talked about a biggest needs quarterback. We're disregarding that for now, unless you're trading for one and getting rid of this pick. I think you go receiver, whether it actually will happen or not. That's not for me to say. You need as many weapons as you can, or offensive linemen, but I don't think that really is the move here. I don't even have it on my big board actively. I think you go receiver with some great options still available, because if your quarterback's Aaron Rodgers, if your quarterback is really anyone else, it's not going to be a good option. Just get them more options.
Nico, if receiver's the move here, which one is it? Because we still have some good options, like Nick said.
I'm not really sure. I'm big on a lot of the guys still left on the board. I'm big on KC Concepcion. I'm big on Omar Cooper. I personally prefer Omar Cooper, so I think that would be the best pick here for the Steelers. But I like a lot of the receivers still on the board.
Okay. Nick, you had Concepcion going early. Do you see that being a potential move here?
I think it should be.
Yeah?
I really do. Omar Cooper is so versatile. He's so he's great at breaking tackles. But KC Concepcion can slide right in the slot, kind of be a difference maker when you have your two guys that are both 6'4" for the record, DK and Michael Pittman. Kind of greedy if you ask me. But then you need a receiver in the slot to break that up and go in the middle. And KC Concepcion can be that person.
The hometown team pick is in. Augie, if it is KC, are you going to be happy with that?
I don't need to think about it because it's not going to be KC. like I'm saying, I think it's defense, or for the third time in 4 years, we're taking an offensive tackle. I highly doubt it's a receiver. We've seen they only take those guys in round 2. So I doubt it's a receiver. It's an offensive tackle or it's a defensive player here. Which is offensive tackle makes sense, but it does at the same time. We've taken 2 in the last 3 years. Whatever.
You're not sure. It's right. ASU to the Steelers. Okay, Kathleen Moore.
It wasn't necessarily what I expected.
No.
Kind of at all.
No.
I don't know why you're skipping on Javon McCoy here.
It's injury concerns.
It has to
We
be.
saw it
It
last
has to
year
be.
with
He's
Will
gonna
Johnson.
he's gonna continue
It's
slipping.
like all over again. I mean, we've seen so many offensive linemen go off the board. It's pretty insane. This is another guy we've had just rising up the board just because of that. A lot of offensive line needing teams. So we have a guy like Max Iheanacho climbing up the board.
Yeah. Nico, are you surprised at all with this?
Not too surprised. I like the pick. Offensive line, I think, was a pick they could have gone with. A bunch had gone in the past. A lot that I didn't think would, like Blake Miller. But I think this is a really good pick for them. I think he's going to slide right in, be a good starter, and be pretty good for them.
All right, let's move it on then. The Rams are on the clock. The Chargers, are on the clock. Kathleen Moore, where can they go with this?
I mean, the Chargers really need edge. They need guard.
Yeah. Defensive needs.
As far as guard is concerned, I don't think you take that here just based on who's available. Edge could be a good decision. So could safety.
Yeah.
I like Thieneman here to the Chargers. Yeah.
Defensive needs, Augie, those are clear for the Chargers right now.
Yeah, the Chargers definitely need defense. They need an offensive line help. I think it's a little overplayed because of Joe Alt's injury and the other tackle that they have. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name now, the guy at Northwestern.
Yeah,
He's another All-Pro.
Yeah.
But they have 2 All-Pro tackles. They maybe might take an interior line here, but I think they take defense. I don't know. The Thyman fall is a little surprising to me, and I think they take him soon. And I think they might take him here.
It feels like kind of ridiculous to think that the Chargers would take another offensive lineman because you just think that they have so much depth, and then you look at the
but
injuries
they don't,
and it's
because
like the injuries are so bad.
Well, Nick Cohen, they had 18 different offensive line combinations last year.
They did, because injuries are very prevalent in the NFL, and especially it seems like for the Chargers, they also let some of those offensive linemen go. So I think, I'm not saying they'll do it, but I think the move here would be a slight reach on Emmanuel Pregnone, offensive guard from Oregon. I think he would be the pick here. Thieneman could be the option. TJ Parker could be the option. Hakeem Messidor is also still on the board. So given those options, Nick Scalise, what do you think they go with here?
Honestly, I completely agree with you to draft Pregnone out of Oregon. Yeah. If you just watch that playoff game against the Patriots, Herbert was just running for his life the entire time. And obviously the injuries, the Alt and Schlater do not help you. But with them coming back, if you get that boost to the offensive line, interior offensive line, then I think the Chargers can be a scary team.
Yeah,
honestly.
and he's not pictured on the graphic, but he's the 9th best player available in my humble opinion. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, Pregnone?
Yeah, I mean, you watch Sunday Night Football, and it was guys that were working at McDonald's yesterday showing up on these graphics. I think they definitely need offensive line, but it's not what they do.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. I mean, Pregnone could be an excellent choice here. The injuries have been absurd.
Sure. Okay. Again, I'm gonna throw a secondary option here. Nick Cohen, if it's not Pregnone, then it's
Thieneman. I think we can all pretty much agree on that. You know, Derwin James is getting older, and he's one of the 3 best players still available.
Well, it's out of Miami. Hakeem Messidor is an LA Charger. Guys, thoughts?
I mean, it's a good pick. I mean, he's been on the board still. If you take edge here as the Chargers, obviously the secondary needed a lot of help. So I like it. I like it.
Nick Cohen?
I agree. You know, he was one of the best players available, top 6. He's a great edge. The real knock with Messidor isn't even anything against his playing style. It's the fact that he's 25 years old.
Right.
He is almost elderly for a draft pick. You just don't really want that age to be a rookie on your team. Would you agree, Nick?
Yeah, I just feel like that's a little old. Obviously, you can squeak by with like quarterbacks like Bo Nix and Penix have been 25, 24 in the last. But at an edge rusher, already at 25, it's a little bit of a worry.
I agree. Yeah,
Ben
but
Huber?
it's a good pick.
Yeah, Ben Huber, do you agree? Good pick?
Look, I think when you're picking a guy that's 25, you need to be in a position where you can win now. I don't know if the Chargers are at that point yet. They maybe are close, but I think a team more like the Bears or a team like later on in the first round, right? I think they're more of a team that would benefit more from Akeem Mesidor being 25 years old.
Because that secondary does still need a lot of help with the Chargers. I mean, it's not a bad pick, but it's definitely a Band-Aid over a bullet wound.
Yeah.
Sure. Augie, the Cowboys are back on the clock with just over 4 minutes to go. It's the second pick of the first draft, so where did they go here, Augie?
They took Caleb Downs with the first pick. My favorite pick of the entire first round. They no longer need a safety. Maybe they make another play in the secondary, though, and they get the corner out of Tennessee. Who knows how they feel about his injury history. We've been talking about it all night. They need pretty much defense, any position on defense almost. Maybe they finally see a Michael Parsons-ish replacement that they see here. I know Mesidor just went. I'm not quite sure where they're going. I could see him take another secondary spot, though.
Nick Cohen, you have a huge Cowboys fan at the big board now.
I do. We welcome in Octavius now. Octavius, I'm going to give you two options, okay? Number one on the big board, Augie talked about it. Jamad McCoy, injury-prone, actively injured, but a great cornerback regardless. And another option, T.J. Parker, edge, to potentially fill that position that they have been looking for. Who are you picking here?
I got to be completely honest. I don't want either of those guys. I want C.J. Allen out of Georgia.
Okay.
I had to watch Kenneth Murray last year in the interior linebacker room be the worst linebacker that I've ever seen. Now, the Cowboys have never had a great defense. It's pretty obvious. But when you get a guy like C.J. Allen, who I think could really turn the tide, he could be a guy like a Van Der Esch. And pairing him with the jersey I have on right now, DeMarvion Overshown, you need interior linebackers. If we don't get him, which I wouldn't put it past as, good first pick, but who knows what Jerry does. I'm looking at Jamad McCoy. I know he's injured. We picked Siobhan Revel last year, an injured cornerback, but I don't care. I don't care. We need a secondary unit because I can't go watch Dak put up 35 points and lose by 3 points again. I can't do it.
I think that's a pretty valid plea for why they should do that. I mean, C.J. Allen is a great player. However, I still think Jamad McCoy should be the guy here. I don't know.
Prayers that go through Jerry Jones are never answered. And I think you know that.
I
It's
couldn't
definitely gotta be
agree
defense,
more.
though. It's definitely got to be defense. I think the most Dallas Cowboys selection here, it's a sneaky one. I think it might be Keldrick Falk. I feel like they need a guy that can get to the pass rusher, but I think that they just love getting run defenders for some weird reason. And Keldrick Falk is one of those guys, but also look for a sneaky Malachi Lawrence, a guy that has been mocked to the Cowboys a little bit and has been rising in the last week. I think that maybe they trade down. Maybe they know he's going to be there. I don't know.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
The real big knock on Falk is that he's a little bit raw. He's very young. His production wasn't amazing this past year. But with that being said, he was in the SEC, and that's difficult to do to get sacks in the SEC. He'd be a good pick though.
Octo, we heard Stephen A. constantly call your Dallas Cowboys the Alice Cowboys because of those defensive frailties, right? Is that going to happen again this year?
For so long we've been called Big D. There's no defense in Dallas. It might be the Alice Cowboys. I wouldn't be upset with a Malachi Lawrence. I know he's a nice guy. Came out of UCF. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't really want Keldrick Falk, to be completely honest. We don't need more run defenders. We just traded for one.
Sure.
It doesn't really make sense. But if we make that pick, again, just someone on defense. If I see the name, Omar Cooper, Casey Concepcion, I'm going to lose it. You might have to hold me back.
George Pickens, though, could be on the move.
True.
With that whole situation, up in the air at the moment. The pick is in. Kathleen Moore, where's your mind at right now with this?
I mean, personally, Octo, I would love to see a crash out from you with Casey Concepcion. Sorry to prey on your downfall, but I mean, you see the colors we're wearing. I kind of have no choice in
It's
the matter.
Eagles K till my bones decay.
This could get heated. a name that we haven't mentioned, if it is going to be a wide receiver, and if Octo is to crash out, Denzel Boston. Well, we're not even gonna talk about.
Did I call it or what?
Malachi Lawrence is a first-round pick to the Dallas Cowboys.
Go
Octo,
Knights.
charge
Let's
on.
go.
Charge on.
That's awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better edge talent. So I thought we were gonna get Mally like around 30, maybe trade down. I thought it's a good option. A little early, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all.
His combine was
charge
just
on. Go Knights. Charge on.
Unbelievable. And Ben, you talk about it. The combine plays such a huge role in where these players end up going.
Yeah, 1 of 5 players from UCF ever selected in the first round. I mean, that's huge for the program. You love to see that. Yeah, huge combine from him, and that's why he's been rising up the draft boards. I think he absolutely deserves it.
Nick Cohen, lots of smiles in the studio right now.
I was going to say, what you guys aren't seeing is everyone behind the cameras cheering, doing the UCF chant. I'm not going to do it, but,
do it. Do it.
Nope. This is a great selection by the Cowboys, and that could just be, us as UCF students just saying that, but he really is a great edge, and he had, in my opinion, the second best combine for an edge rusher this year, so you should be very happy about that.
I couldn't be more pleased. I mean, he ran the second fastest time of any edge rusher, and we need speed. We need speed off the edge, so I could not be more happy.
Absolutely. I mean, Augie, his draft stock just rose unbelievably here, and this is a testament to that.
Yeah, he kind of had like a Shamar Stewart kind of feel as last year, a guy who was an athletic freak at the combine, and his numbers, or excuse me, his draft stock just rose like that. When we talked about the Cowboys' needs, we obviously said it was defense. They have a huge hole to fill with Micah Parsons. Is Malachi Lawrence Micah Parsons? No. Let's be for real. Nobody is Micah Parsons, but he's going to help, and I like this pick.
Yeah, I think we all agree with that. I really do. Nick Cohen, though, the Browns are back on the clock.
Yeah,
so
we welcome in Scott.
There you go, Scotty. Talk to me.
I have to tell you, man, I had to take off the Browns jersey. I was pretty excited about Bain coming to the Bucs, so I had to change it up a bit. But if there's a player I think that's going to go to the Browns, if you're going to have a second first round pick, I think you're going to go with the top guy. I think you're going to go Jermaine McCoy.
Yeah, Nick Cohen, do you agree? Is the number one player on your big board going?
I hate to do it, Scott. I disagree.
Yeah?
I think I said it earlier. All we've been hearing all draft cycle is that since the Browns have 2 first-round picks, they must go offensive tackle and receiver, no matter the order. A lot of us thought it was going to be Carnell Tate first and then tackle later. That was not the case when they selected Spencer Fano. Now we see Omar Cooper and Casey Concepcion still available. I think either would be great options because they need anybody.
Yeah,
Jerry Jeudy's not the guy anymore.
Cohen, you make a really great point about needing a receiver in Cleveland. Yeah. There's just nothing there. I mean, it's a ghost town. It's so bad.
Well, what I wanted to bring up before Malachi Lawrence obviously stole the show, Denzel Boston, a potential third option there when you're talking receiver.
Yeah, I leave it to the Browns to select Denzel Boston. It just seems like one of those picks that it makes a lot of sense for them. It feels like Corey Coleman back in the day. They're drafting Denzel Boston out here. Hey. I don't know. It wouldn't be my favorite pick, I'll say that.
Okay, no. But if it happens, then it goes back to us too. Augie, Browns, talk to me.
Let's be for real. This is the Cleveland Browns. They need pretty much everything but an edge rusher.
They could still use an edge rusher, though, opposite of Myles Garrett.
Yeah, they could. So even their one position they're strong at is still a kind of a need. They suck. They're buns. I love to see it as a fellow AFC North companion. Screw them. But like, they took Fanu in the first. A receiver here would make sense. Maybe a guard here would make sense, too. They need everything. I can't really tell you which way they're going to go. Only thing I don't think they take is a tackle.
But to go Fano and then potentially Pregnon seems, I'm not going to say greedy, that's Kathleen's word, but
thanks. I appreciate you leaving that for me.
Just why are we doing 2 interior offensive linemen with our picks? You have other needs. Would you agree, Scott?
I absolutely would, but I have to say I was pretty convinced by Nick over here. I think Omar Cooper Jr. If you're gonna go with someone offensively, then it would be the national championship winning wide receiver, and we need some tools. I shouldn't say we.
I was gonna say.
Cleveland definitely needs some tools with all the quarterbacks they have and the depth that they have with their quarterback. they need some tools to throw to, and I think I have to say, I'm flipping my pick for Omar Cooper.
Okay.
There we go. Scott, why are we calling that quarterback depth? Look at the quarterback room there. That's not depth. Having a full room doesn't mean any of them are good options. None of them should be starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Not a single one of the quarterbacks in that room.
It's still depth at a certain point.
I suppose.
Well, so my question is, how much longer is this going to continue at Cleveland? This mediocrity.
Oh, Cleveland will never succeed ever again. It doesn't matter what they do. Myles Garrett is basically a stat pattern being held hostage.
And you said ever again as if there was a certain point where they were successful.
Probably not since Otto Graham and
pre-Super Bowl era. Potentially.
Exactly.
Before it was the NFL.
We can't even be saying
to the playoffs.
But
Ben, any inclinations here for the Browns?
Just expect the Browns to screw up, but.
Okay, so is Casey Concepcion screwing up?
No, I don't think so. I think this is a decent pick for them.
I think I have to say in the beginning here, when it comes to screw ups with the Browns, I think a screw up very fitting for the Browns would be German McCoy. And I'm gonna say, as one of the bets boys, as a betting man.
Well, it is Concepcion.
Oh, wow.
It is Concepcion. The Texas A&M man, Nick Cohen, is now a Cleveland Brown.
I feel for him. I feel really bad for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
But tough. For Browns fans, probably like the 4 that are out there, Camden's one of them. You're probably happy with this pick because as you're watching this play right here, he can turn just a regular 5-yard slant into a touchdown. It feels like any play. He's just one of those players, and Browns fans should be happy with that.
And he became a leader for A&M. One of the guys who they looked up to. I think that's what Cleveland really needed.
Yeah, I mean, the explosiveness off of Casey Concepcion, I saw his gauntlet drill at the Combine, and
it was amazing.
It was so good. It was so good. So no shocker here that the Cleveland Browns are looking for speed. They're looking for a guy who's going to get it done.
The NFC North champions then are on the clock now. Chicago Bears, Augie, where do you see them going here?
Ooh, Chicago's an interesting one to me. They lost DJ Moore. They need an edge rush. They need a safety. Diamond's still available. They lost Kevin Byard.
I would go Keldrick Falk here.
Yeah?
Plain and simple.
Okay, that too.
I like that
plain and simple. I think he also, size-wise, fits up pretty well opposite of Montez Sweat. They're both large guys, athletic specimens. I think it could be edge here. TJ Parker is an option, as you said. And then receiver is certainly an option. We just lost one off the board, and there's still a really good one in Omar Cooper. But Keldrick Falk would be my pick here. We bring on Mason Best again. Would you agree? You've been pretty great thus far.
Just quickly, Mason.
I don't think it's going to be Folk. I think it's going to be a defender. I like Peter Woods here. I like Parker here. And I wouldn't rule out like an absolute flyer in Jacob Rodriguez. This is the Bears we're talking about.
Yeah.
They're in a decent spot. They could throw a blind dart at the board here and see if it lands.
I suppose.
All right, the pick isn't in just yet, but when we come back, let's see who the Chicago Bears have selected.
We're Campus Combat.
And in case you missed it, here's everything that went down during the main card at UFC 324.
The Paramount era kicked off with non-stop action as Gene Silva and Arnold Allen went to war. Silva pushing the pace and taking the decision after 3 hard rounds.
Then things got heated when Natalia Silva edged out Rose Namajunas in a close fight that had fans arguing the second it ended.
Heavyweights clashed when Waldo Cortez Acosta shocked the world, putting Derek Lewis away with brutal ground and pound shots, solidifying his spot atop the division.
The comeback everyone was waiting for. Sean O'Malley showed he's still that guy, outclassing Song Yadong with clean striking and slick movement in a close win.
In the main event of the night, Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett withstood 5 rounds of pure violence. Huge strikes, no backing down. When it was all said and done, Gaethje stood tall, winning the interim lightweight title for the second time in his career in an unforgettable performance. And that's a wrap on UFC 324.
Tune in to the next episode of Campus Combat on YouTube.
All right, we're back. It's almost 10:30 on draft night. On the first round of the draft, we are moving through it very nicely, very quickly. That's a good word as well. Okay.
It feels like, at least.
Chicago Browns, Kathleen Moore.
Sorry, what team? What team was that?
It's 10:30. Chicago Bears. I'm sorry.
And 10:30 is very late for Edgar. In
It is.
case no one.
The Bears. The Bears.
I mean, the Bears have a lot of options here. I think you could strengthen that defense a bit, but I also do like the idea of having another weapon for Caleb Williams, who had a really nice season, but granted, with Caleb Williams, his low lights are very low.
Okay. Nick Cohen, I mean, again, the Bears, they have 6 picks from rounds 2 to 7. Is that where they're focusing their aim this year?
I think there's multiple positions that they could be looking for. Edge, we talked about safety.
Yeah.
I think receiver would be, considering the best players on the board, I think Omar Cooper is the pick here. It should be, at least.
Is this finally where Omar Cooper goes?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think the Bears go opt for receiver here. I think maybe a Caden McDonald I could see here. Some guy that will help them win now. I think Keldrick Falk, like you said earlier. But.
Yeah, okay. Augie, what were they missing last year? 11-6, a good year for the Bears. What were they missing?
Ooh, that's... For me, what honestly was most disappointing for the Bears was Colston Loveland. Now, there's no tight end to take. As somebody who took Colston Loveland high in fantasy, that was disappointing to me. I thought their defense was fine, but they did lose 2 safeties this offseason, which is why I think Dylan Diamond is the pick here. They lost a linebacker, too, in Tremaine Edmonds. I think they lost DJ Moore to Buffalo. I could see him taking receiver. I don't think they do it, though. I'm standing by my Thiemann pick.
Yeah, the Thiemann could be a good selection here, but I like the Omar Cooper pick at this point. I do.
I think it's defense.
Do you?
I do like Thiemann. I think that is a good pick. Augie made a great point there. They do need to replace their safety. So.
Well, I find it interesting because look, they came across the Rams, right, and late in the playoffs, and we all thought like in Chicago, like they can really do this last year. Obviously not the case. So again, why do you think they just fell short last year?
I think it's kind of a matter of not being able to execute in the big moments. I don't think you can pinpoint the blame on any position specifically. It's just a matter of not executing when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw you the same question.
Good, better, best. I think the Bears. I mean, they had a great season last year. No one was expecting them to do what they did.
No.
I don't think that necessarily it was some huge glaring hole that caused them to lose. I think that any improvement here is great. I think if you're picking at 25, you're happy about that. You're happy that you made a playoff run.
Yeah, Mason. Right. Would you be, surprised? I guess is the word, right? If Cooper goes here.
I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. I think the Bears are in a very interesting mode where they're in a win now mode, but they're also looking to build for the future too. So I think it's going to be a defender here. Peter Woods is kind of my guy in this spot. I think he's one of the better defensive tackles in the class. He would bolster that Bears D-line. That's where I'm looking, but I could see Omar Cooper as well.
Well, I will tell you right now, it's Dylan Thiemann going to Chicago.
Okay.
We're getting head nods at the desk.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good choice. Safety is definitely one of those positions that the Bears could make an easy improvement on with this choice, so I like it.
Especially the value they got him at. I mean, he did slip down the board a little bit. We thought maybe there would be 3 safeties selected in this draft, and we're not on pace for that anymore. So, I mean, getting the second best one in Dylan Thiemann at 25, I say that's pretty good.
Definitely a steal.
Yeah.
Nick Cohen?
Great pick here. I know that it's not Keldrick Falk, who I mentioned at one point, and it's not Omar Cooper, who I was pretty sold on. I think a lot of us were, but he will be great for them at the top of the defense.
For sure. For sure. I mean, absolutely. Again, the Bears, a good pick here because, again, we talk about them potentially being a win-now, organization, and this move can definitely help them towards that.
Right. Well, I think they have a very large window beginning to open up for them. They've done the work to kind of develop that young talent that they've been cultivating over the last few years, and a pick like this could be just what they need to push that momentum even more forward.
Yeah, Nick Cohen, we haven't had a big board update in a while, so talk me through who you are keeping your eyes on now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just saw the number 3 option on the big board go in Dylan Thiemann. Jermon McCoy is still up there at the top. His fall is probably because of his injuries. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Still very talented player regardless, so whatever team gets him will be great. I think we'll see him going off the board pretty shortly, potentially to the Dolphins later. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Number 2, Omar Cooper Jr. We were just talking about him. I think he is a fantastic option for any NFL team.
Yeah.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Now that Thiemann is off the board, he is the best safety available, and he is a great one, regardless of who was above him. And then Avion Terrell, another great secondary option, probably a slot corner in the NFL. Didn't run very fast at the combine, but he is great in coverage. And then Keldrick Falk, who we were briefly mentioning, he's raw. He has great size, but he gets after the quarterback.
Mason, who's the most compelling player out of the ones Nick Cohen just went through?
I think Omar Cooper Jr. has potential to really be that wide receiver one, that X factor in a lot of offenses. And as this kind of the board shakes out a little bit, the Bills are an interesting team coming up here that, though they've added to that receiver room, could still get Josh Allen some more help. So I think that's going to be a dangerous pick to watch down the board.
I would be so frustrated.
So the Texans have traded for that pick, so it's Houston on the clock now. Ben Huber, where do you think?
I don't know where they go here, but I'm not surprised necessarily that the Buffalo Bills are trading out of this pick.
Yeah.
I personally had them trading out of this pick, and I had the Cardinals actually trading up for Ty Simpson, who obviously isn't there.
Right.
But interesting that the Texans would trade up. I think they may go defense here. Maybe Keldrick Falk, he's still on the board. They go him. Or Jermon McCoy. I think, though, at this point, since Jermon McCoy has not been picked, his injury concern is probably worse than we think. I think he'll fall out of the first round.
Wow.
Yeah, at this rate, I definitely agree. I would love it if there was a better option for interior offensive line here for the Texans, because again, if you can give CJ Stroud just a few more seconds to make a throw, that's kind of a game changer for the Texans. I think that was kind of the fall of their playoff run.
Yeah. Octo, let's talk about protecting CJ Stroud. Is that the focus for this pick?
You know, I think it has to be. It's a similar situation. The Texans, it seems like they always have a pretty good defense. You even go back 10, 15 years, the J.J. Watt defense, it was elite. But their problem has always been that O-line. And to be honest, there's not a lot of great O-line prospects. I think the first one to think of right now is Kalen Rutledge out of Georgia Tech, interior guy. But I'm not even sold on him.
I think above Rutledge. He'll be on the board pretty soon unless he goes here. Number 6 on my board actively is Emmanuel Pregnon. We talked about him earlier. I think he is a great option here for the Titans, or not for the Titans, the Texans. You have to think about, they traded up. They wanted to jump the 49ers with this pick. So who were the 49ers maybe thinking? I think they were thinking interior offensive line. Their offensive line is terrible. And they could have been thinking secondary, specifically cornerback. So we could see Avion Terrell go here. We could see a D'Angelo Pons, quite the reach there we would see. But I would think that they traded up for Emmanuel Pregnon.
Yeah, do we agree here, Ben?
I could definitely see that happening. They definitely need the offensive line help. Yeah, I definitely don't think they go edge here. Obviously, they just paid Will Anderson a huge bag, overpay in my opinion. But
really?
Yeah, I think so. They gave him like $50 million
really good.
All right. Rutledge, Keelan Rutledge is going to the Texans.
That's the reach of the draft, in my opinion.
There you go. Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean Ty Simpson, Ty Simpson was the reach, if we're being real. But that's just unfathomable in my book. Keelan Rutledge is quite a reach.
Pretty odd. He was just the first one I thought of. So.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe put me in that GM.
I would even think Chase Bisontis out of Texas A&M would be over Rutledge. I don't know. I had him as my 3rd best available interior offensive lineman. So, not that there's many Texans fans here, but good luck with that one.
Arthur, thoughts?
To be honest, I did just say him, but even then I was a little bit surprised. I thought they were going to go defensive tackle Peter Woods. I thought, their defense is great, but their interior pressure was really one of the big problems they had. On the outside, they were elite, but inside, I thought, Peter Woods really fills that gap for them. And I guess not. I guess they're more concerned about saving C.J. Stroud, which makes sense. He looked horrible in that playoff series. Or not playoff series, playoff game. This isn't the NBA. He looked horrible. So any help you can give him, he needs.
Really not great. Yeah.
Right. Augie, Rutledge, was this a bit early for him?
For him, there was definitely better players like Pregnon. My only thing is, I'm not quite sure what exactly their scheme is. My only thought is maybe Rutledge is a better scheme fit. An interior alignment is sometimes more of a scheme fit, a plug and play, than necessarily a tackle where the guy's just overall a stud. But I did like what somebody said about San Francisco's pick maybe getting taken here, because the San Francisco 49ers just traded out of their pick, and now the Dolphins are on the clock.
Miami is back on the clock. Nick Cohen, you all of a sudden seem excited.
I do, because I don't know, anything. I'm gonna hold my excitement a little bit because I don't know. You know, I'm still upset about Caden Proctor. Granted, we would have just traded up to jump the Bills. So interdivisional beef, as there always is. I have to think about for a moment who I think we're trading up for. I mean, I would love to see Omar Cooper here. Genuinely, I would love that. Jermon McCoy, I'd be willing to take the risk on him. We bring in Francisco Vera, fellow Dolphins fan. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking either Jermon McCoy or Omar Cooper as well. You need help at wide receiver.
I would love Emmanuel Pregnon. I would love Avion Terrell because we lost Kader Kohu. I mean, we need every single position on the secondary. Because then I would love Emmanuel McNeil-Warren too. I feel like as long as we go someone on the big board, I wouldn't be too upset. Would you agree, Ben?
Yeah, I agree. I personally do think it's going to be Omar Cooper. I think when you look at the corners that are on the board, there's so many really good corners I think will be there in the second round for us. So I do like Omar Cooper a lot here. I think he can be a game changer for Malik Willis.
The pick is in for the Dolphins now. Doesn't Omar Cooper kind of change the mood from today?
It definitely would. It would make me feel a lot better than that last pick. I mean, that was atrocious. Yeah. But you know, yeah, it would definitely make me a lot happier to get a wide receiver here. I do think it was secondary, O-line, wide receiver, the three biggest needs for the Dolphins. So if we can knock out two of those, you know, can't be too upset. But you know, we reached on the first one.
We talk about teams having big first rounds. Of course, the Dolphins certainly one of those. Augie, is there any one of these names that is calling your attention more?
I think one of these corners is going to go here. Not quite sure which one. See, you got to stop Josh Allen. You got to stop Drake May. So you need corners.
Yeah.
I think one of these corners is going here more than necessarily
McCoy?
A receiver. I think McCoy's the best available. I think teams are very, very scared of his injury history. I think there's a reason he's fallen this far, and I think more than one team, or excuse me, pretty much all these teams are scared of his injury history. I don't know if it's him, but I think it's a corner. I think if they take him, it's a solid pick. He's fallen far, and he's going to be a talented guy. It's just we got to see how his rehab comes back and how he bounces back.
Well, real quick, I would like to report the trade details.
Go for
we obviously gave up 30, but we also gave up number 90, and that's it. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think. I mean, granted, we're giving up a third-round pick to only move up 3 picks, but if we're taking someone that the Bills were really interested in, I'll give up a third-round pick all day. We have 4 of them, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Francisco?
I mean, I'm also happy as long as we get to spoil the day of the Buffalo Bills. I think that's a great thing.
It's worth it.
Fellow Josh
Absolutely worth it.
Allen hater here.
So what would that look like, Kathleen? Spoiling the day of the Bills.
I mean, definitely if you come and grab Omar Cooper, that would certainly throw a wrench in their plans, because I do think that they're searching for another weapon for Josh Allen, but I think
can I say this one?
Go for it.
It's Chris Johnson, the corner.
Well, so okay, it was a corner. Nick Cohen, you are speechless again.
I was afraid of this, honestly. I was gonna throw it out there before.
My goodness!
What are we doing here? I had Chris Johnson as my 7th best corner in the draft.
Wow.
That honestly could have been a second
This is a home run pick, man. This is a home run. I don't know what you're talking about.
D'Angelo Pons, Brandon Cisse. Then it was Chris Johnson. He should not have gone until the end of the second.
But no, he is the 27th pick of this first round. Francisco, are you as distraught as the other 2 Dolphins fans in here?
Honestly, the Dolphins did need help at corner, but I just don't think that you should have taken Chris Johnson.
And trade up for him?
You could have traded up. You could have taken Omar Cooper with this pick, and then just take him in the second round, or maybe even if he falls in the third round. I don't know what they're doing. They're 0 for 2 so far.
You know it's bad when you're watching the live stream and you see the player in total shock, and just tears coming out of their eyes because they couldn't even possibly fathom a world where they went in the first round. And that's what Chris Johnson is doing right now. He's sobbing.
Yes.
I couldn't even imagine what the comments look like on streamies.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, I would love to see.
Augie, we're gonna give Nick Cohen some time to recover. I mean, man, we talked corner, but not this pick. Surely not Chris Johnson here.
Yeah, I do not expect this, but I absolutely love this pick because it is, for one reason, it is bringing harm and pure hatred to my Miami Dolphins fans everywhere. So I absolutely love this pick. I wish I was in the control room or studio with you guys now so I could see Cohen's face, so I could see Ben's face, so I could see Austin Suarez's face, so I could see everybody's face. I would love to be out there. This is a massive reach, I think. I'm agreeing with Nick. And I love the pick for him.
Do you?
I want to hate.
For no
Thank
other
you,
reason,
Augie.
do you love the?
I appreciate that.
Do you love the pick? Nick Cohen, have you recovered yet, or do you need more time?
No, I haven't, because it could be worse theoretically. Okay, we could have drafted quarterback. We still need it, but there was better cornerbacks available, and I stand by that. We have whiffed on both picks now. I would say we drafted the correct positions, reaches at both.
Yeah, and even if you're taking corner, there's so many better options ahead. Literally on the board, Avion Terrell would have been a very acceptable choice if you were scared of Jermon McCoy.
So then from 31 to 28, New England are now on the clock.
Another little trade.
What are these interdivisional
What's
trades
going on
we've been
here?
seeing?
What's going on here? Nick Cohen,
They've made their decision.
They made their pick. It's Caleb Lomu.
Yeah, Caleb Lomu is going to New England. We have mixed reactions here. Let's throw it to the big board.
That's a good pick.
I mean, you know what? I'll go first here.
Sure.
I'm so happy. For once in my entire life during this draft, I have never been happier to see the New England Patriots mess up a pick. How about yourself, Nick Cohen? How are we feeling?
Well, yes. I would agree. It's not like a total mess up, but it kind of feels like Cole Strange from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I would say that Caleb Lomu is not a starting tackle in the NFL, and so then when you put him in guard conversation, I would still have Emmanuel Pregnon over him.
1,000%.
So I would agree that this is a reach.
1,000%.
We can say that. And also, to trade up, I mean, it's only 2 picks, but you'd have to think, so did the Dolphins just do that? So maybe they gave up a third. We don't want to see the Patriots with picks.
Just for them to reach, you know what I mean?
Well, Vrabel's not exactly in the right headspace right now.
Oh, no, he is not. No, he is not.
We found the real reason for why Caleb Lomu went 28. Chiefs are now on the clock, Ben Huber.
This is weird.
This is
such I don't know
Insane.
what's going on. Players are moving around. The Chiefs, I don't know what they're gonna do. They could go. They could really go anywhere. They could go secondary. I think secondary could be the play here for the Chiefs, honestly.
Do we like that Kathleen Moore secondary?
I like secondary here. Again, I mean, there are great corners still on the board. Avion Terrell could be a nice selection here for the Chiefs.
Okay. Nick Cohen, of course, we talk about the huge injury they sustained last year. Will they look to kind of try to remedy that?
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking corner when the Chiefs were back on the board, but they did get Mansour Delane in the first pick. I don't know, because I think Avion Terrell would be a better pick than someone like Jermod McCoy here.
Yeah.
We bring in Blake. What are you thinking for the Chiefs?
Well, first off, thank you guys so much for having me on for this pick. For me, the Chiefs here feel like receiver, actually, for me. They do have Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. We all do know that, but they've had a lot of trouble staying on the field. For Xavier Worthy, that's for health. For Rashee Rice, it's for off-the-field problems that he's had. So I think that there's a main receiver here, that being Omar Cooper Jr.
Yeah.
I would love that for them to just be a true consistent on-the-field option for Patrick Mahomes. I do think they could go defensive back like Jermod McCoy, Avion Terrell. Those are both great options as well, but those are kind of the 2 positions that I see the Chiefs potentially taking here.
Augie, Hollywood Brown out of there. Okay, do they go wide receiver?
They very well could take a receiver here. I don't necessarily like what you guys were saying about taking a second corner. I know they lost 2 corners. I think they got other positions to fill. I could definitely see them taking a receiver. A sneaky position I like them taking here is a defensive tackle to put alongside of Chris Jones.
Okay.
And who are you thinking?
I don't like them taking corner.
McDonald's, if that's the case.
Caleb McDonald, maybe Peter Woods. I've been high on Peter Woods. I think McDonald might be the better player.
Definitely.
I would probably take him over Woods. So maybe him, but I also really love a receiver here too. I am personally of the opinion that Rashee Rice needs to be out of the league. So I think they should, yeah. Rashee Rice needs to be out of there. So I could definitely see them taking a receiver in case, because who knows what's going to happen with him in the future.
Okay. Well, so whether it's receiver, whether it's a guy like McDonald, again, the Chiefs are looking to kind of strengthen.
Yeah, I definitely think that a guy like Peter Woods actually could be on the table here. I think he is better than Caden McDonald. I know a lot of analysts do have McDonald a little bit higher. I think receiver could also be on the board here for the Chiefs. I mean, Omar Cooper Jr. He's still on the board.
Still there?
Yeah.
He keeps slipping. I think maybe the hype of the last couple months, a little bit of a smokescreen, I guess.
Yeah,
so
kind of wore off a little bit.
I think.
Yeah, what do you think, Nicole?
I think that the Chiefs would be pretty upset with how the board has fallen. I mean, granted, we see that there are some players that probably should have gone already, but I think that their second biggest need besides corner was offensive tackle, and there aren't really anyone available that wouldn't be a total reach. We see Caleb Lomu go. I mean, then your next best is like Jennings Dunker. Should not be a first-round pick. So I think they should be. I don't think they'd be really happy with how this has fallen.
Yeah. The pick is in. Kathleen Moore, where do you see them going? Do you see an Omar Cooper to Kansas?
I could see it. I do still like the corner pick with Avion Terrell. I can also see them going edge here. Kendrick Falk is still on the board. We can't forget about him because edge is definitely one of those positions that the Chiefs could use to strengthen their defense right now.
Blake, are you leaning one way or another?
For me, it's still probably receiver. However, I do think they could go defensive tackle and on the inside defensive line as well. They do need that to be strengthened, and there are guys there like McDonald and Peter Woods who I both think would help them out more in that run stopping department. So those could be options as well for sure.
Before the Chiefs make their pick, though, no more Niners coming up next. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. But the Chiefs are about to make their pick here.
It could also be Denzel Boston. We haven't really talked about him yet. We talked about him earlier on.
I'd love to see that.
But then we kind of took a hiatus from talking about him just because Omar Cooper is still on the board here, viewed as the better prospect. But still, I think Denzel Boston may be a better fit for this offense. Maybe they're looking for a taller guy.
Yeah, Roger Goodell, as we speak, making the announcement, and it's Peter Woods from Clemson. Yes. So they ended up going defensive tackle, making sure that is reinforced for next year.
Right, it's an understandable pick. It's not like the pick that I would have gone with, but, they don't pay me to make the choices.
I think it's a great pick, honestly. Yeah. I think Peter Woods definitely slept on. Before this year, I mean, the Clemson was so bad this year. And I think Peter Woods definitely was at the receiving end of that. I think that tanked his draft stock just because how bad the team was. But I think Peter Woods is such a great prospect. And I think they knocked this pick out of the park, honestly.
Yeah? Over at the big board, yay or nay?
Probably yay. I mean, I think it could be the right position. Again, I still think offensive tackle was more of a need, but not with the guys that were available. But I would say nay in the sense that I like McDonald's over Woods here.
And for this next pick for number 30, the Jets are back on the clock.
First-round pick?
Yep. Okay. You heard me right. Sure. Third pick of the first round. Okay, Augie, where are the Jets headed here?
The Jets need a corner. They traded Sauce Gardner. Maybe they take D'Angelo Pons. Maybe they take some of these other guys like McCoy or Terrell. That's a possibility. Maybe they take a receiver here. Those are the two positions I'm leaning here for the Jets.
Austin Suarez back at the big board. I mean, the Jets' third pick here in the first round.
I mean, I think they can go one of two ways here. I mean, obviously, or actually three ways. Let's start off first with replacing Sauce Gardner. We obviously have Jermod McCoy, Avion Terrell still available. Now, let's take a look at the edge rushers. Here, we obviously still see that Keldrick Falk is still on the board. I could definitely see the Jets taking Keldrick Falk. But most importantly, I mean, Omar Cooper Jr. is still on the board. Now, listen, I know they took an offensive weapon already, but imagine this. Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., and Kenyon Sadiq. And at that point, you can either dive into free agency and get a quarterback later, or just run the 1 year with Geno Smith. However, I truly think they're going to end up taking an edge rusher here. Pregnon could honestly be great too.
I don't know about edge, just because David Bailey with the second overall pick.
That's true.
It's also worth noting they didn't have to trade up much. They had one of the first couple picks in the second round. So I like this move for them. I think it's going to be for Omar Cooper or Jermod McCoy, purely because they're the two biggest names available, and you don't trade back into the end of the first if one of those guys don't fall.
1,000%. Or another name I could see, given that they missed out on Arvell Reese, C.J. Allen. C.J. Allen is still available and up on the board.
We are hearing Omar Cooper Jr. to the Jets. I mean, how does that make you feel, Kathleen?
The offensive weapon room in New York for the Jets is looking pretty strong at the moment. I like what you said, Austin, about, just riding out the year with Geno Smith and going for a quarterback next year in the draft when you're going to have stronger prospects available to you. So I think this is a great move, and sorry to Omar Cooper for having to play for the Jets, but
might as well just pack it up.
Well, okay, 3 picks in the first draft, Nick Cohen. How do you evaluate them for the Jets?
A. I think they have killed the draft thus far. Yeah. I would have gone Arvell Reese over David Bailey, but that's in the past. I think that Kenyon Sadiq was a home run pick, and now Omar Cooper, at the pick that they just got him, insane. I think that they are killing it, and I hate to see it.
Omar Cooper to the Jets, man.
Yeah, I mean, they get 2 offensive weapons. Yeah. I definitely agree with Kathleen. This offense is actually looking kind of decent for the Jets, which is crazy to say, right? But
it's changed around very quickly
words
for the Jets.
That haven't been spoken.
They haven't been uttered in years, right?
Yeah.
All right, Nick Cohen, you have a new guest at the big board. Talk to us.
Yeah, so the Bills are finally on the clock.
We'll see.
Who do you think they're going to take here? Omar Cooper's off now.
Yeah, we've got a lot of options here. I was really hoping for a receiver. I love the DJ Moore addition, but he's kind of getting up there in age. We need someone a little younger. Denzel Boston is someone that jumps to me as feeling like a Bill. We have Keon, but we need a more reliable, bigger body guy. But I don't know if that's what we're going to go with here. With the new scheme, we kind of really need a lot up front for our defense. It's kind of a big change for us. We're used to that McDermott scheme, but it's going to be completely different with Jim Leonard. I really could see a linebacker here, actually.
Hold on. Forget the Patriots, okay? They're not on the clock anymore.
The Bills, friend. The Bills.
Sorry, the Bills. My goodness. The Bills are not on the clock anymore.
Of course.
Because why not, right? What has not happened in this draft?
Who?
It's going to be, I believe, the Titans are on the clock. The Titans are on the clock for pick number 31. Okay. Guys,
it's like a fire sale for these last couple picks. Why do they want to trade up? Keep trading up for these picks. I don't know what.
So many trades in this first round.
It's in this small little trade. It's not like a blockbuster trade. It's like you're trading up 3 or 4 picks, maybe even 2. 1 with the Dallas Cowboys.
It feels unnecessary because you see really, really quick trades like this when you're in the 32 to 29 range. Yeah. But this has been littered throughout the entire draft
with
tonight.
The Bills.
What is this?
The Cohen reaction?
Well, I hope the Bills didn't get a lot for that pick. I'm so sorry, man. I don't know. The Titans back on the board after taking Carnell Tate. They got their offensive weapon. I think they should look defense. I think they still could look Emmanuel Pregnon because Cordell Volson is starting at offensive guard for them. That's not a starter. So I think we could be looking at defense. They could use corner Jermod McCoy, best player on the board by far, in my opinion. There's a number of positions that they could go here.
Andrew, how do you feel? No more first-round pick for your Bills?
Honestly, I can't say I'm surprised. We see Brandon Beane trading back every single year. After last year, I stayed up so late watching that draft with the 10-minute first-round picks and Keon. That was 2 years ago.
Sure.
And then, I'm not surprised. We were kind of weak for day 2. We had no second-round pick. So I'm assuming, I don't know what the trade details are, but I'm assuming we've kind of snuck into that second round now with that and the Texans pick. So I think there's plenty of talent that's going to be available day 2 with the way this board has fallen. Yeah. So honestly, I'm not too upset about it.
That's
well,
a great point.
while we have you too, I hate your team, but I love that jersey.
Thank you.
It is clean.
I gotta say the Dolphins had a great rivalry jersey too.
Right behind you.
I know.
Yep.
I mean, look at that. If I wasn't a Bills fan,
Interdivision love.
Look at that at the big board. That's what we like to see. Augie, the Titans are back on the clock though. No more Bills. So where do you see Tennessee going?
Edge rusher, Kendrick Folk.
Yeah, I
That's what I think
agree
they take.
100%. It's either Kendrick Folk or, you could go Emmanuel Pregnon here too. I don't think that's a bad choice, but I do think that it's Folk.
Okay, Ben?
Yeah.
It is Kendrick Folk. Okay, that was simple enough.
There we go.
Official?
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
it is official. It is official. Okay, so finally a straightforward move. Austin Suarez at the big board. Talk to me.
I mean, Robert Saleh, defensive mastermind.
Yeah.
And that is what I will call him. He has earned that title by me. I, am a little shocked that it's not C.J. Allen, given that he loves his Fred Warner archetype kind of running backs. But I'm not going to be mad at Keldrick Falk either. I mean, they could clearly use the help on the edge.
Yeah, I mean, and again, for the Titans, sneaking into the later stages of this first round,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It does. I think that the Titans have really done a great job with this first round pick. Both picks, honestly, have been great. I mean, Keldrick Falk is going to slide really nicely in here.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of fell, Nick Cohen, lower than you expected?
Somewhat. I expected late first round. I like that he's going to Tennessee. I like keeping an SEC guy in the South. I think he will do good there. I think a guy like Keldrick Falk, who is inexperienced to say the least, he's a little bit raw. I think he could benefit from going to a team with a mentor, and I wouldn't say that the Titans really have that outside of Jeffrey Simmons, but they don't play the same position. But I like this pick for the Titans and for Falk.
Yeah.
The last pick of the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft. Nick Cohen, it's coming to an end, my friend. Seahawks, where are they going?
Yeah, so there's a couple different positions that they could go as we bring in another Nick again. I think Jermon McCoy, it has to be. I'm pretty convinced that he's going to fall out of the first round, but I don't think he should because you lost Tariq Woolen. Jermon McCoy should be the move here. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, you also lost a safety, and this guy would go great alongside Nick Emenwari. I think that would be a great pick. And interior offensive line, Emmanuel Pregnon. We've been saying his name for multiple picks now. You can always use interior offensive line.
Honestly, if you watched any Seattle Seahawks game this year, you will know one name by heart, and that is Anthony Bradford, the guard for the Seahawks. And that's why I think the pick of Pregnon is just so obvious here, because Anthony Bradford is like every single week there is a new clip or image of him just doing something embarrassing.
He's not wrong.
Let me throw a name out there, though. Jadarian Price. Any possibility there?
Anything's a possibility, we've learned tonight, but I don't like it at all. I don't think any of us really do. I mean, he is potentially the second best running back, available in the class, but not this pick. I don't think many teams coming up to start the second round are eyeing Jadarian Prince.
Okay, Augie, are you going to jump on the Price bandwagon or no?
No, I'm not. I agree with the fact that they should take a corner here. They lost Tariq Woolen to the Eagles. I don't see a running back being a good pick here. I think they take a corner.
Yeah. Okay, so defensive for the Seahawks. Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely corner. It's just kind of a matter of which corner you want to go with. You've got great options.
Yeah, you got great options.
And I think those options are there because you could go McCoy, who would just instantly fill Tariq Woolen's role. Or you could move Nick Emenwari back to safety because you lost the safety, and then draft Avion Terrell to then fill the nickel role that Emenwari is currently playing. It leaves you needing a boundary corner, but either is a great option, I'd say.
Sure, Ben. Who are you leading?
I think that Jermon McCoy, like we said again, the injury concerns, I think they stay away from him. I think they draft another Tennessee corner, though, in Colton Hood. I think this is one of the guys that we've had mocked going in the first also, and we have not seen that many secondary players get picked. I think Colton Hood, though, he goes here. I could also see Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. And like you said, Bradford, it's god-awful.
Yeah.
They need interior offensive line. They need to replace him ASAP. But I think they do go secondary here. They lost Drake Woolen. So yeah, I do think they go Colton Hood.
You are right, Ben. There's been for the depth of secondary talent in this draft, there's been a surprisingly low amount of secondary players that have gone.
It's almost like everyone's waiting around for their corner.
Sure.
Not the Dolphins though. The Dolphins made it a point to pick their guy.
Sure.
We jumped on it if we liked
yes,
someone.
you did. Yes, you did.
No matter the reach.
McNeil Warren would have been someone you would have been happy with.
Oh, for sure. But in reflection, I take back my gripes with Mekhi Lemon. It sat with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
Lemon's great.
I'm feeling joyous.
Wow, I'm happy
Maybe
for you.
he like rizzed up Howie in like the interviews. Like,
Okay, wow.
I'm the
That's
pick.
like
You
not
better-
the sentence I
Perhaps.
expected to hear from you
Perhaps
just
that
now.
happens,
I'm going to be honest.
Well, it could be true. Anyway, Nick
Can
Cohen.
we move on
I think
from
there's some merit
this?
to that. Let's get.
Maybe we move on, potentially.
Check the source on that.
Yeah. We've made it to the last pick, though.
Yes.
Of the night. Nick Cohen, just talk me through your emotions here as the hitting the field journey comes to an end, my friend.
Yeah, you can say that. I mean, I'm not going to get emotional. That already happened.
We already did that.
That already happened.
I'm just curious.
But, it's been fun. It's been a very long night, but I mentioned at the top of the show that Draft Show is a night that I look forward to every year. Having the opportunity to host it for the last 3 years has just been something I won't forget, and nor will I forget this draft because it's been
Oh my God.
unpredictable and I've been unhappy, but regardless, it's been a great time, and I just want to thank everyone for all the work they did for the show.
We see all the faces on camera, but so much hard work going on behind the scenes as well to get this show going as smoothly as it has been. 3 hours on the air, guys. Unbelievable, as the Seahawks are about to make their pick. Nick Scalise, I'm going to throw it to you, though. Again, what are you feeling here for the Seahawks?
I just think Pregnon is just the right pick here. Sure. Gray Zabel was a home run pick last year for the Seahawks, and John Snyder finally figured out that if you start building the offensive line, you will start winning games. It's taken him almost 10 years to figure that out. But yeah, I just think if they take guard here, then I think they have a good chance at repeating.
Really? Okay, so we're going that far. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps them out for sure. You need help in the trenches no matter what. Even if it's a rotational guy, you won the Super Bowl. You go take a rotational guy, or even a guy that's going to start here. I think in Emmanuel Pregnon.
It is Jadarian Price going to Seattle. I told you I wanted to throw that wrench into the works, Kathleen Moore.
Well, Edgar, good job.
Thanks. I'm gonna take the
great
credit for
work.
that.
No, you should.
I should.
I
Exactly. I saved my best for last.
I don't love the pick. Is he really a starting running back in the NFL?
Not
I don't think so.
particularly.
Especially not behind Anthony Bradford, who Nick was talking about so poorly, and rightfully so. I don't love this pick.
Wow.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's on my.
This reminds me of like Clyde Edwards-Helaire at pick 32.
Ooh.
Wow.
No, that's great.
Wow. Yes. Great pull, Augie. Jadarian Price.
They probably should have either gone maybe edge or corner. This pick screams to me they want the 5th-year option. People are afraid to pay running backs. You get that extra year of control all with a running back right here. That's what this pick screams to me, so they don't have to pay him, so they can get 5 years out of him, and then they can get rid of him.
Wow.
It's not a bad take at all.
Absolutely not. And with that, the first round of the NFL draft concludes. I'm going to put you all on the spot. Kathleen Moore, the most surprising pick.
To me, it has to be Ty Simpson, right?
I think so.
Like, I feel like.
I think so.
I'm just, my mind
Still
is
bamboozled.
boggled.
Right.
I feel like we kind of moved on from that too quickly. No,
We had to. There was too much chaos.
There
Too much
was so
going
much
on.
chaos going on. I
Too
mean,
much
that
going
is like that's an insane pick. What are we
What is
doing?
going on?
It's like a Michael Penix Jr. almost. It's
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Such a head scratcher.
Do we agree at the big board?
I think we agree. I think there are definitely, some good runner-ups. I mean, I think Keelan Rutledge to the Texans was quite the reach.
Yeah.
I think Malachi Lawrence, we all love him, definitely a reach to the Cowboys. But yeah, I think
Any Dolphins
Ty
pick?
Simpson. Oh, any Dolphins pick whatsoever.
That's right. That's right. Probably at the top
definitely.
of the list. Nick Scalise, most surprising.
Honestly, most surprising is, in my opinion, number 5, Arvell Reese to the Giants. I didn't even have him on any of my draft boards because I thought he'd be gone by then.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to have him. So
Very happy indeed.
What's
Augie?
yours, Edgar?
I agree. it's Ty Simpson to the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I know I said I could see it a little bit. It's still very surprising to me.
Yeah. Especially with Stafford like, sticking around, right? No one expected that. But yeah.
What's your most surprising
No,
pick,
it has to be Ty Simpson. It has to be Ty Simpson. No one had him going that early, especially to the Rams. I mean, everyone thought it was.
Oh, they traded up. They traded up for Ty Simpson.
Before Ty?
That's insane.
That's still that hasn't really clicked. Okay, we're gonna do one more lap, and I'll start with you, Augie, this time. The most impressive draft goes to.
I mean, this is just skewed by, I know they had 2 picks. It's the Dallas Cowboys taking Caleb Downs. That's my favorite pick of the entire draft, and I don't even remember. Honestly, I'm so obsessed with that pick, I forgot who they took with their second pick. So it's the Caleb Downs pick is my favorite pick, and the Cowboys won the draft to me.
Wow. Okay, Cowboys winning the draft. Ben Huber, who won the draft?
I'd have to go with the New York Giants. I think with 5 and 10, I expected them to kill this draft. I think they did it. I mean, Arvell Reese slid to them. I think these are wonderful picks that they made. Yeah. I think they definitely are going to continue to improve this roster with the new coaching staff. I think these picks definitely help them.
Nick Scalise, it's looking good.
It's looking real good. I'm very happy for this season now.
Very happy indeed. Kathleen Moore?
I kind of want to say the Jets. The Jets had kind of a great draft too. The Giants is a good choice, but I mean 3 picks in the first round, and you kind of nailed every single one of them.
Absolutely did. Absolutely did. Nick Cohen, last but not least.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Dolphins. They killed it.
Wow.
No, it's. I agree with Kathleen. The Jets absolutely destroyed it. You know, trading back into the end of the first round pick. I mean, you do that to secure another good player, and that's exactly what they did with Delmar Cooper.
Lots of great talent then to look forward to in day 2 of the draft. Less than 20 hours away, so no need to wait too long for more draft drama. But from us here at the Hitting the Field Network, that brings us to the end of the 9th annual draft show. It's been an absolute pleasure doing it alongside you guys, Ben Huber. Kathleen Moore. Oh, okay, we're going formal.
Sorry.
All right, Nick Cohen, once again, you killed it over there at the big board. Every one of your guests, by the way. And Augie, you did survive a full day in the podcast room. I'm proud of you, friend. All right, we'll see you guys in the next semester. That's it from us here at the Hitting the Field Network. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you to everyone who played a role in this, making it such a successful show. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.